Hey guys, who's ready? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I need to get a little bit closer, don't I, guys? Oh, no. Hey, who's here with me? I'm talking to myself. Who's here? All right, Amber's in the house. Allison's here. Hey, if you're a two-timer, raise your hand. Karen's here. Kim's here. Kim, what's the weather? I forgot where you are. I want to be jealous of you today. Go ahead and tell me what the weather is where you are. Terry, Deb, yes, here. We're taking names. Hi, Debbie. Judith is here. Judith's going to go live with me on Monday, and she's really excited about it. She's not nervous at all. She said she had to go buy some lipstick. Hi, Trisha. Hi, Allison. Ooh, Christina's here. Okay, good, Christina. Your computer, is it done updating? Leilani, did I say your name right? Leilani Pounders. Miss Q's in a house. Two-time. Debbie's a two-timer. Love it. And she drove all the way from Tennessee to see me last month, or this month. No, last month. It's nice, 74 degrees. Hi, Brian. How are you? Trisha and Jerry, you guys, I'm just letting everybody kind of pop on here. Rebecca's here. Joan's checking in. Hi, Abigail. I have 4 people, guys, who are still not in the group. They're not answering their emails. I hate that. They're not answering their emails. Okay, you're watching from Gatlinburg. Hi, Tammy. Judith, we're not scared. We're just old friends, just going to chit-chat on the live on Monday. Don't you worry, girl. I have my sister-in-law with me here today, and she's going to be reading your questions. Nene, roll on over here.
Although they're not on my camera.
Huh?
They're not on my camera.
Okay, we got to refresh it. We got to refresh it. This is my sister-in-law, Janae. I've known her since I was 11. So she's going to be...
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, it hasn't been very long ago. I was 11 like yesterday. So Janae's going to be here, and she's going to be sitting watching my laptop. Hang on, I need to make sure she can read the questions. Oh yeah, I'm going to refresh it. Hang on, peeps. Hang on. I'm getting our setup over here on the laptop, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, is this me? Yes, this is me. Where am I? Oh, it's because I'm over here.
I was like, the room.
I've got it on there, and I'm like, it's just a yellow dresser. Like, I can't see me. It's because I'm over there. Oh, what a dork. Okay, there's a piece of paper. I tell you, when I do stupid things like that, I think, hey, you try to do it, right? Hi, Liesel. Honey, I'm so glad you joined us today. There's nothing like being last minute, right? All of you people who popped on here today, this morning, and decided to go with it, I appreciate you. Here's our inspiration piece. Does everybody remember this? Don't laugh at me, Q. I'm a ding-dong. Janae and I are staring at the screen, and I'm like, well, there's the yellow dresser, but I don't see me. Because I'm over there. What a dummy. Dumb. Okay, guys, this is the goal. Okay, I did this piece a couple of years ago. So we're going to use our drawers. If you have a drawer or a door on the front of your piece, the darker color is going to go around the edge, and the highlighter color will be in the center. That's the goal. That's what we're going to kind of focus on right now. We're going to do it door at a time, drawer at a time. Good morning to you too, Penny. And Sylvia and Lisa's here. We've got 35 of you on here right now. There should be 87 total. Hi, Margie. But right now, I know that a lot of you guys are going to be catching this on the replay. I'm going to leave this video up, or leave you in the group, shall I say, for up to 3 weeks. I don't have another one scheduled right now, so you guys can come back and watch this. And of course, I encourage you to post your photos as we go. Raise your hand if you want to go live with me, and I'm more than happy to take a little break and pull you up on the screen and say, hey, or if you say, is this right? or you say, hey, I am doing fantastic, I want to show off, I'm cool with that too. So just raise your hand and we'll see if we can bring you up on the screen with me as well. Hi, Ellen and Jennifer and Gail. I'm so glad that y'all are all here. Also, if you have a question, Janae will read the question to me and I'm going to answer it as best I can. We may just kind of do like a Q&A after about 30 minutes and then kind of go back and read all of the questions. If this is your first time, Hikia, am I saying that right? I know this might be your first time in any of my classes, so I just want to welcome you, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If this is your first time doing anything with me in any classes or anything, I am pretty much 100% loyal to DIY paint. It's a clay base, and it's from Debbie's Design Diary. You do not need to be using that paint to take this class. I do recommend that you use a mineral paint, whether it be, Amber, we are not nervous here, sister. We are not. A clay-based chalk, milk, only because of the way that I add water in more of an artistic approach. It does really, really help to have a mineral-based paint. Hi, Sue, all the way from Alaska. I'm so glad you're here. We have several, Liesel's here from Germany. We have several from the UK here today. We may even have Australia. So this is exactly why I'm doing the online class. It's for all of you who cannot make a class here in person at Reclaimed Warehouse. I'm just so happy to have you all here. And La Casa Verde de Granada in California, says Ellen. Now she's just showing off. She's totally just showing off, right?
Oh, there is.
There's Kathy from Australia. Woo woo. So as you guys pop on here, I love that you're saying hello. Introduce yourself. You're more than welcome to say where you're from. You know that there's 83, there should be 87, but there's still 4 people who aren't answering their emails. So I'm doing everything I can to get them in the group, and hopefully in the next day or two we'll get them in there. So DIY paint. What I love about it, if you haven't tried, I'm not trying to sell you on it. I just want to explain why I use the paint that I do. And it's because of the clay-based, I can add as much water as I want, and it doesn't take away the pigment. It doesn't take away the intensity of the color. And a lot of your latex paints, that will diminish the pigment intensity, if that makes any sense. There's Rebecca, the heart of Texas wine country. I'm going to come see that bed and breakfast, girlfriend. I'm going to come see it one of these days. I spend a lot of time in Texas in the summer. So, as a refresher, this is our goal today. This is a different paint that I was using though, so the colors are going to be a little bit different. I want you to really focus on, you cannot do this wrong. There are no mistakes because it's just paint. I want you to relax. If you're painting with me at the same time and you have a question, feel free to raise your hand. If you're just sitting back and relaxing like I know Liesel is, oh, you're very welcome. She's got a broken arm, so I know that she's not painting today. But if you're sitting back and relaxing, let me do all of the hard work. That works as well. But the goal is to take your door and your drawers, whatever you have on the front of your piece, and just have the darker color around the edges, and then we'll have the lighter color inside. We're going to use the red and the yellow to come back through as a highlight, and then we're going to use dark and clear wax. I've got my dryer, my heat gun, and it's just maybe while I'm talking to you guys, Janae can kind of, speed the process a little bit. Last class, if you were here, I was very ambitious thinking I was going to finish an entire piece of furniture. It didn't happen. If you follow me close enough, you know I just finished it like 3 days ago. So it was a big chunky piece and it's sitting right over here. I'm only going to focus on the front today. If I get anything else done, like if we get to go to the top, that's going to be awesome. But I want to be able to be as interactive with you guys as possible. So as long as I can at least get the front done start to finish, I'll be feeling pretty good about that. I don't want to be over ambitious and rush through it either. You think you should have a girls' weekend at Rebecca's? Yeah, why not? Yes, the Paint Girls Weekend. Fredericksburg, is that north of San Antonio? I think I looked it up at one point, Rebecca. Am I in the right vicinity of where that is? Made it and will be watching and taking notes. I'm so glad you're here, Deb. Hi, Jody. Such a gorgeous day. I've got the doors and windows open and my computer am I equal to your La Croche? Hey girl, I got my La Croche over there. My sister-in-law's looking at me like, what the world, what did you just say? She's like, what did you just say, honey? I mean, she knows that something weird might come out of my mouth, but if you follow us close enough, that you know that Miss Q has nicknamed my LaCroix La Croche. One of our lives, she said, look, what did you say, Q? She called it a La Crack. And she was like, I ain't drinking no La Cracks, because that tastes like medicine, right? But one of the other ladies commented and said her husband calls it La Croche.
Even better.
So we have picked that name up and just ran with it because them La Croches are good, and I've got one handy. All right, it's a very hip place. It's north of San Antonio and Austin. Okay, Rebecca, definitely need to come visit you. Just painted my yellow, and it's way yellow. I used a different brand. Allison, no, we're not going to worry about that. We're not going to worry about it. We're going to paint over the yellow anyway. The yellow is there as a base coat just because when we do some wet sanding, if we, it's going to pull through the bohemian. I just wanted you to use a contrasting color. If you want to use red or if you want to use an orange, that's perfectly fine. But in the color wheel, you're going to see warm tones that really complement with the bohemian blue, the teals. And so I don't care which shade you use, it's all you. And you may say, I don't like bohemian blue. I'm really going to stick with white and gray. I just want to see your technique. That's your business. This is you paid, you play, you do however you want to do. This is just my inspiration piece so you kind of see the direction that we're going. This is, by the way, the photo that Debbie Beard sent to the Rachel Ray show, and they said they were going to put on the Rachel Ray show. If y'all remember that story. And then we declined and said, no, thank you. We don't like the way you're doing. We don't like your idea. It sounded lame. It was lame. I don't want to be lame. I'm lame enough as it is. Did I tell you that story? Rachel Ray talking to the producers? Oh, sorry. We'll talk about that later. Just painted my yellow. Okay. All right. So let's just get started. You guys, as you pop on here and you have questions, throw them out there. My number one rule is that there are no rules. Okay? I want you to remember that you cannot screw this up. You know that my paint technique is typically pretty, it's pretty carefree. I kind of make messes, and I always warn you, if you've watched me close enough, I always warn you that it's going to get ugly before it gets better, because this thing right here is pretty ugly, right? It's pretty ugly. You've heard the Rachel Ray story? Yep. Debbie tells a little bit about it. We will use a lot of the old 57. No, we're not going to use a whole lot. You use as much as you want, but I will not, Lisa. I will just be using it as a highlighter. You know when you buy eyeshadow and you've got a compact and they give you 3 colors? You've got a highlighter for the brow bone and you've got like 3 shades of intensity. That's what we're after on these drawers. We're going to have your deep color in the creases, and then as it fades in, we're going to have your highlighter color in the center, okay? And whereas here we put our highlighter color on a brow bone. And I'm sorry, my hair is dirty, that's why I have a hat on, so you can't really see my eyes. Yours is pretty ugly too, Jerry. Yeah, well good, we're starting in the right place. We're all at an ugly point if our pieces of furniture, because I told you guys not to cover this well, because it's just for a pop of color underneath, so no worries. Suburbs of Chicago and Woo Woo also have their windows open. That's good for Chicago, Deb. Wow. I'm glad you're not in 16 inches of snow right now. For any of you guys that are up in the Northeast, I know we had some really bad power issues last night. Some of my friends were losing power up in the Northeast. 70-mile-an-hour winds there in Annapolis, Maryland. Oh, and snow. Okay, so we just need to get this party started, don't we? So let me get my supplies. My husband brought this little stool in so I'd be more comfortable. And I'm going to need a drink of my La Croche. Okay. Okay. So grab your water bottle. And I'm going to use
95-mile-an-hour winds on Nantucket.
95-mile-an-hour winds. I bet that had to do a little bit of damage. Who said that?
Christina.
Christina? Sister, I knew you were on the coast, but I didn't know you were in the Nantucket area. I had no idea. Okay, so I'm going to grab Bohemian Blue, which is my dark color. I'm going to grab my water bottle. I'm going to grab my large brush. For those of you that ask, if you have not seen, I always use my paintpixie.com brushes. Those are by Josie, but you can go to their website. And if you're a retailer, you can get wholesale prices. And for all of you in this group, I believe Josie still gives you guys a discount, right? Doesn't Josie give you guys a discount if you're in this group? Okay. This.
Trisha asks why vinegar.
Why vinegar? I'm not using vinegar today, you guys. Sorry, I'm seeing what my husband's got going on here. He got all my stuff set up. Okay, so why vinegar? I often will use vinegar when I want a heavy distressing. The vinegar actually helps the paint pull off of the piece and distress itself more than just your straight water. I don't know if that makes any sense. It almost gives it a crackle finish, but not really your traditional crackle. So if I'm going to use vinegar, I do half and half water, half white distilled vinegar. But it's when I really want a heavy, just pulled look where hi Cheryl, I'm glad you were able to pop on today. So I'm going to let you guys come a little bit closer. Closer. Okay, so you can at least see the top 2 drawers there. And then we'll move down after that. Okay, so I want you to spritz a little bit of water over, and guys, we're going to work in sections. We will not be doing this whole thing at one time. We've got to work in sections. So I'm going to reactivate the paint by applying a little bit of water. I'm not going to use too much. If you are interested in this little deal, it's at Hobby Lobby, and it's Ultra Fine Mist Sprayer. Miss Ladon of Ladon's Creations. Girlfriend sent me 2 of these in the mail, which I didn't know Hobby Lobby shipped. Had no idea that you could order stuff on Hobby Lobby, right? So when you get a package from Hobby Lobby, you didn't order anything. I'm like, what's Hobby Lobby sending me? What are they sending me? So I was so super pumped to get these water sprayers. Ooh, and then she was kind enough to come to our class last week with Q, and she brought Q one too. Okay, you know guys, I am about my cans. Horrible at it. They always get stuck. Okay, so remember, we're going on this drawer right here. The darker, I'm going to basically cover the whole thing, but then I'm going to come back in with my highlighter color, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to switch brushes either, because I'm bad about that. And I think it actually encourages the blending if you do not switch your brushes.
Do you like to have your brush damp when you start?
No. No, I don't. I don't damp the brush because the water's all on the piece of furniture. There's no reason to do that. So just keep your wrist going side to side so you apply it smoothly. You know I always paint with the drawers in. I go back and clean up my little messes later. I'm not going to worry about all that right now. If you take your drawers out the way I used to paint, you're going to get a choppy finish, and I'm not interested in choppy.
They want to know what color you're using.
This is the Bohemian Blue. I know that it looks very dark on here, but it's the dark teal. That's what I'm applying right now. Guys, do not cover up the yellow. Let it peek through. Or whatever your base color is, let it peek through. Do not be perfect on all this. I want all of that detail to shine through in little bitty bits. That's the secret of layering. Do not cover the original color completely. Just keep it really soft, and let's do a really thin layer here. This is our next coat. Janae?
Yes.
Would you do me a favor and maybe bring the phone a little bit closer so they can kind of see this a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
And you actually you may be able to bring the whole thing. I think so, because since I'm up higher, when we go lower, I'll have you lower it down. Yeah. Yep.
Is that good?
Yeah, I think so. That's good. Okay, now I'm going to grab my lighter blue. Okay. And this is going to be my highlighter color. I'm keeping the same brush. This is still wet. I'm going to go right into the can. I'm going right in the center. I'm overlapping my colors. If I had planned better, I would have taken the color out and poured it into a cup. But you know, guys, I'm horrible at that. Okay, so this is the Old 57. You can kind of use, you could use sea glass, mermaid tail. You could even use mint chip or apothecary if you wanted something really contrasting. So the Bohemian Blue is still wet, and I'm blending the colors. I'm putting my highlight here in the center of the drawer. I'm not going to cover the yellow completely. I'm going to let it kind of peek through. And because I've got a little bit left on my brush, I'm just going to do this. Just add a little bit of color. There's no rhyme or reason. Okay. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? I have to remember we have one gentleman. Okay. I don't think you can see that very well. It seems like it's kind of got a glare.
You want me to move it?
Let me see, Janae, if we can see this better. Is that better, Janae, from your angle?
I can't, it's not, there's a delay.
You have a delay? That's so rude.
You're still painting.
What? We have a delay. Sorry,
Still painting.
you know what? I think we had that last time. Barbie told me the same thing.
You're moving it now, so.
Okay. Okay, can you guys see that better? And I may need to switch sides because the lights.
That's probably better.
That. Okay.
Rebecca
right.
says better.
All right. Let me move over here. But that means I got to use my left hand. Y'all are gonna really see if I can handle this. Okay. So that's that. You can see that better? Okay, so let's go over here to the top, this side right here.
Brian says, yes, you do.
Okay. Okay. And so far, because these colors make me extremely happy, I'm in love already.
Mm-hmm.
I am in love. And I just about squirted myself in the face. I have done this 20 times. I want this handle to be right here, and I just about went. I've done that twice now, not on camera.
So Jody says, when I blend the wood, it starts to show. Am I too heavy with my hand, or do you have any suggestions?
Too much water, Jody. You got a little bit much water there. Do you have a base coat on, Jody? Which I don't mind if the wood shows. That's not ever been a problem for me. But I understand if you're wanting to get full coverage. I can still see a lot of the yellow through here, which I know you can't, but I can still see quite a bit of the yellow, and in a few spots I can see the wood. Okay? Okay, what I'm thinking, Jody, is that you just need a little less water when you started on the yellow. Did you do a yellow base coat too? Okay, we're back to Bohemian Blue.
Jody says yes, yellow base.
Okay, awesome. I know I gave you some Queen Bee at the class last time. I didn't know if maybe you'd already used it all or if you bought any extra.
Doesn't smell.
And Jody, I put my tag on my luggage when I went to San Diego. I used your luggage tag you gave me. Thank you. Did you say it doesn't smell?
Mm-hmm.
You don't smell the paint? No, it's because it's just got clay and it's like dirt.
Amazing.
See, Janae's never been around the paint yet, and she says she can't smell anything. No, my husband, her brother, does not like any paint fumes in the house, and so that was another reason that I encouraged to go with an all-natural paint, because the boys have allergies, and sometimes when it's 10 degrees outside, I would love to paint in the house. So he actually insisted we paint in the house instead of out in the garage, so this paint has never bothered him, never. I'm going to do a little bit more. So when we have company, like when Q's here, or when Janae is here, or Barbie was here last class, I get to come in the house. I don't have to stay out in the garage. I'm totally kidding. You know that, right? I could come in if I chose to. Okay, so grab our highlighter color. Grab our highlighter color. Same brush. So somebody asked if in this class, if I would do like I do in my in-person classes and auction off this piece. Excuse me, not auction. Hi, Tanya. I'm glad you could make it, honey. Not auction, but draw to give it away. But I was concerned that people would have to pay shipping. If you won and I drew your name, you would want it, but then you may have to pay $300 or $400 to have it shipped to you. So I've never done that because I was concerned about what kind of pressure that might put on you. So I would love your feedback for the next class. If that's something, I mean, it may be $200, but it might be $300 or $400 depending on where you live. And
do you see this?
No.
It says I have raised I have some raised swirly details on a drawer. Try to get in all the grooves.
Not necessarily. I would let that light color come through, Lisa. If you've got some swirlies, don't worry about getting it covered in full. My opinion. I would not worry about getting it in all the grooves. Just lightly go over it and leave your base color coming through in those little grooves. Okay, Rebecca says she would pay. Yeah, your shipping wouldn't be that much though. And if I would feel really bad if someone in the Australia or UK or somewhere won and I couldn't ship it to them because I mean, you know, we can't be doing that. So I'd feel really bad, but I do want your feedback. So please give me your feedback. Okay.
Yes, do a drawing.
Do a drawing? Who said that?
Trisha Porter.
Okay. Okay, so there's a little bit left still on my brush, and I'm just kind of going over the bohemian blue. No rhyme or reason, just kind of cleaning off my brush. These little details right here, this is like a little feathered weave. I don't even know what you want to call it. But we're going to make sure that, yeah, braid. Janae's got it. The little braid, we're going to highlight it later with some of the red, okay? Okay, we're going to move back over here to this drawer right here.
Beth Ann says maybe a drawing for the paint you used.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I do that every Friday night and give away free paint, so I always do. I do love to do that. Okay. Yeah, if you will make it come down lower, because I don't want you to have to sit there and hold the camera, but if you'll just make the tripod come down lower. Hey, that actually kind of works right there.
Just angled?
I kind of think I like the angled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to move it to the
They
side?
don't need to see me.
Straight on.
I think this is good right here.
Okay. That's pretty.
Thank you. So Janae, people, I'm trying to get Janae to come help me work. I need her to be my assistant. So while y'all are here today, let's secretly send her messages to bully her. Let's go with bullying. Let's do it that way. Let's just, come on, Janae. Let's do that. That should work out pretty well. Janae works for an elementary school system, and she is a financial secretary, and she's been there for 7 years. And my niece goes to the school with her. She's got a pretty sweet deal. But, you know, working elementary, I mean, come on. There's some crazy parents. She needs to not be dealing with that. Q says you do need her. I know, Q. That's because Q's worried I'm going to try to steal Carly, which, you know, Carly's completely and totally loyal, but she's pretty awesome.
Okay, so Lisa says when blending and I start getting some drag, should I add a bit more water? I'm not trying to pressure wash it.
When you get a little bit of a drag, yeah, just a little bit more water. You're exactly right, Lisa. Add a little bit more water. See, I got too much water right there because I got a little drip. I'm not ready for drip. If you got drip, you're using too much water.
Amber says mine looks like a 2-year-old painted it.
Come on, Amber. We're not making fun of ourselves. I'm going to bust in on you and say, I'm going to make you show me. Come on, girl. Amber, what kind of paint are you using? I'm just curious. Did you get your DIY paint? I don't want you to have to be texting or typing.
This is DIY.
Okay.
That needs to be my color in my house. That's gorgeous.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is. I love it.
So for DIY, before this whole color movement came on board, our number one colors were whites, and now Bohemian Blue is our number one color for the whole paint line.
It's gorgeous.
We sell more of it than any other color because the people are like, ooh, I'm loving it. Okay. No, I keep wanting to go to the other side because of my hand. I keep wanting to use my right. Okay, middle color, highlighter, right here in the center, you guys. While it's still wet, you know, this is kind of like a workout class when you go for the first time and they say work at your own pace. Totally work at your own pace. If you want a lot of drama and you want a lot of effect, you could do a lighter color here. I mean, you can even put pink or something. You could totally do your own thing. So I'm just showing you how I'm doing it, and then you apply it to your own look, your own technique, or your own experience, should I say, like in a workout class. So when I went to California, if you watched my live last night, or if you've been seeing, Debbie Beard took me to Orange Theory, and the guy put on his little microphone and came over and told me to push it 30 seconds. I wanted to say, I'm about to push you. I could be your mother. You need to leave. Because I wasn't going to be sore up in California on my vacation. But boy, Karen and Debbie, they are determined. They were pushing it. So he'd say 30 seconds go, and they went after it.
Okay, so Tricia says, do you have to have a storefront to be a DIY retailer? I work from home in the woods, but used to sell another brand.
So you do not need to have a storefront. What you do have to have is a place to sell it. Meaning, you could work out a deal with a store that gives you just an 8-foot wall. Put a shelf, put a cabinet on. You need to be in a place that's open at least 4 days a week and has some foot traffic. You can't sell it directly from your home. You need to have a place that you have it set up. And I didn't have a place until I started selling the paint. But that's when I hooked up with Reclaimed Warehouse, and they gave me my little 9-foot wall, and I put up some shelves and put the paint in there. And they also have a space, you know, if you do that, then you can maybe have a space where you can set up classes, and that draws in more traffic, and when more traffic comes, that draws in more sales for your paint. I hope that helps, Tricia. But we can talk about that more later if you'd like to message me. But if you do want to apply, go to the website, the DIY Paint website. At the very, very bottom, you can scroll down and click wholesale, and it gives you the option to apply to become a retailer. Okay, we're going to move on to this drawer.
She likes your idea, by the way.
Huh?
Tricia says good idea. She likes it.
Okay. Thank you. So we're going to just lightly mist this drawer. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my Bohemian Blue. Keep in mind we're doing kind of like we would an eyeshadow. We've got highlighter colors. You don't have to be in even a retail store. I know people, I mean, you want to be somewhere where there's heavy traffic, but you can even do, you could do it like a hair salon somewhere where you're going to get a lot of women in interested in the same thing you are. No, I'm not left-handed. I'm rocking this left hand though. Do not worry about covering the yellow completely. Feel free to let it come through. It makes it look better. I personally love that look. Can you still see okay, Janae? Like on camera?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll go down here in a minute when we do the bottom drawers.
Okay.
Okay, lighter color, same brush. Everybody doing okay? Checking in. Who's here? 43 of you are here. Everybody doing okay? Mallory, I know this is your first time to be here. Oh, there she is. Hi, Mallory. Hey, hey. Let me know if you have any questions. That's weird. I just said her name and then she popped on. Because I hadn't seen her name yet. So guys, if you have questions, go ahead and ask them.
Lisa says she likes the greenish color starting, but it's a great mix.
Yes. The bohemian blue and the yellow, of course, are going to pull a little bit of a green color.
Somebody said you make it look easy. Allison did.
Thank you, Allison. But you know what? That's just practice. That's what we're doing here. You don't have to feel intimidated or anything here. And that's why in my classes, I don't have the ladies paint in my classes, because I don't want anybody to come in feeling like everybody's going to look at their stuff, or I just want it to be a comfortable place for everybody. So that's why I don't set up so everybody else can paint. I just, we just, you know, that comparison's the thief of joy, and I always say that to everybody. So we're not going to be comparing ourselves. So should I worry about the paint strokes? Jennifer, I want you to see mine, because I do see some lines here in mine as well. And it's because the yellow's coming through it. So the paint strokes don't necessarily bother me. Marlis is in total concentration mode. I love you so much, Marlis. So let me bring you in just a little bit closer. Maybe you can see that there are brush strokes on mine also, but they're not thick. They're just more like, can you see where the yellow's kind of coming through? We're going to continue to do some more layering, and I don't think that you should worry about that personally. Miriam says, my phone keeps changing color and I can't get DIY. Is the bohemian more of a navy or a green? Mm-hmm. It's a true teal. Mm-hmm. It has a lot of green in it. Our navy is Hay Sailor, and I can see why it's doing that. It's because, you know, sometimes when the sun's coming in, but the bohemian blue is the color that I use more than any other color. So if you've been following me a while, you've seen this color quite a bit. Okay, Nay, I'm going to go ahead and have you either lower it or hold it down while I go down here to this drawer.
You want me to try and lower it?
Yeah, however you want.
Front or back or both?
Probably both. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, we're good. We're good. Everybody understands here.
You want it all over?
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually perfect.
Sweet.
Yep, I can see it perfect. Okay. Isn't this handy?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this handy?
That's pretty awesome.
I know. Pretty awesome.
Pretty
They also have them at like hair supplies places like Sally's or something.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome.
Yes, I just have to make it with another brand. I think I've done too much, 57. Abigail, you may want to maybe use a putty knife if you think you've used too much, or maybe just let that dry and then come back over it with a little bit of bohemian blue if you feel like you've got too much. Okay? Don't panic though. You know, I know you'll figure it out. And here in a few minutes when I'm letting this front dry, I'm going to want to say, hey, who's going to let me be nosy and see what they're doing? So Abigail, I'm kind of counting on you. Marlis, you going to let me come see what you're doing? Or are you just concentrating, Marlis? Janae, Marlis has come to 5 of my 6 classes.
Oh, I should come and meet her.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. She's from Ada, and she's a retailer for DIY painting.
Oh, awesome.
And she won one of my pieces of furniture. She was standing next to Matt,
Oh,
and Matt drew her name.
nice.
She's so sweet.
Abigail says, okay.
Okay.
Miriam says, I'm just watching, not painting.
Okay, that sounds good. That's the way I would probably do it. If it were me, I would be sitting there just watching.
Rebecca wants to know, where are your best places to buy the furniture that you paint?
Rebecca, I have someone that looks for me. I don't go to the Salvation Army or Goodwill or anything because their prices have just got so unbelievably high that I got tired of going in there and just being so disappointed. So I built a relationship with a couple here in Oklahoma City that have their store. And so when they're looking, they look for me and they know what I like. They know my prices, and then they'll text me pictures. Do you want this? So the other day, I went in and I got 3 pieces. I was so excited.
Okay, so Janet says she just got here late. She's catching up.
Okay.
And Marla says that she'll scare you, but okay.
Oh, Marlis, never. So Gina said she just got here? Oh, Janet.
Janet.
Catching up. No worries, girl. You know you can always play this back. You've got 3 weeks. And Rebecca, it's really good. It doesn't hurt to ask. So I started going into this one thrift store for a very long time, and I finally said, hey, here's what I'm looking for. Like, when y'all are out at garage sales and stuff, would you just look for me and just know that if it's solid wood, this is what I'll spend. I never, ever, ever spend more than $150 on a piece, but it's between $100 and $150. Will you guys message me, And so they know that I'm going to come in every other week, and they just set pieces back for me to look at, and I may go in and spend $500 and come home with 3 or 4 pieces. So they know that I'm coming, and once you build up that relationship and trust, it really works out well for everybody.
Okay, so Penny just wanted to share that she uses a furniture dolly that has large wheels. It's about 7 inches off the ground. She sits on it on the floor instead, to scoot around instead of sitting directly on the floor.
That's brilliant. Good job. Thank you for sharing that, Penny.
Judith says, I have a question about covering the base color, but she's happy to show her current work on video.
Okay. It's Judith Billig. Okay. All right. I'll pull you up here in just a little bit, Judith, because we would love to see. And Penny, you may not want to show me, but I may want to see what you're talking about with that furniture dolly. Maybe you could post a picture of it. That would be awesome if you could post a picture of it in the group. Unless you don't mind me coming in and looking at you here in a minute.
Kim says that she's not painting, just learning. So great to see the amount of paint that you're adding. It says that it makes a huge difference.
Oh, good, good. That's what they say in the in-person classes. They're like, you're not applying very much paint, and you're using a very soft hand. And that's hard to tell when you just look at a piece of furniture. You can't tell, how much paint was being applied. So I can see why that does help make a difference. And I usually always have somebody come up front and do a little either painting or use the scraper, my putty knife. Thank you, Janae. And no matter what, it still looks different even though, thank you, my cushion. Oops.
Hey, Rebecca wants to know, she says, how much paint is on the brush when you pull it out? Can you show?
Of course I shall. I'm being very careful not to get paint on me. You guys know that I don't want to get paint on me. They always tease me because I don't get paint on me and they don't know how I do it. So I'm not going to fail right here in front of you. Okay.
All right. Ann says, my husband attached a stool to a furniture dolly and I roll all over the shop.
He attached a what?
A stool to a furniture dolly, and then she says she rolls all over the shop.
I love those husbands that do things like that. Love them.
You need me to move that for you?
Nope, I got it. Matt's the one that keeps me organized. Okay, guys, so last drawer on the front, I put a little bit of water. It's not dripping. You will show what you have for feedback. Jerry, I'm counting on you, girl. Okay. You see this? This is the amount of wet paint that I have on there. It's not much. Okay?
I have a couple of pieces I'm going to have to bring over here for you to help me.
All right.
Tony is in and says, here, sorry I'm late.
No worries, Tony. I'm glad that you're here, honey.
Other people are interested to see the dolly. They think
Okay.
it sounds cool.
Okay, so I dipped it one more time. I keep the furniture on these little round dollies. You know, I always show those. Those I get at Northern Tool. They're $10 a piece. You can order them on Amazon, I believe, too. And now they have a bunch of different varieties. But Matt got me them one year for my birthday. It's the greatest.
You answered the question before I even got to tell it to you.
Oh, sweet.
That was what they were asking.
Janae, sometimes they call Matt Mr. Iris.
Yes.
They call him Mr. Turquoise.
Nice. Yes, I'm sure he loves it.
He loves it.
He does.
He does it. He's like, come on, I need a cooler name than that.
Oh, yeah, well. That one's pretty good if you ask me.
Mr. Iris.
I like it.
Okay. I'm going to put a little bit more right here because I see a lot of the yellow coming through.
Lisa Miller says, my piece has legs and a lot of detail. How would you use the highlight color on those parts? I'm trying to post a pic but don't see how to.
I don't know with the privacy issues if you could post a pic on here. I know we were trying to do that last time and that wasn't working either. Lisa, you may have to just let me come in and have a look if I can get you on live. Otherwise, is your, I think that highlighting the ornate pieces, you know, the scroll work, I actually think that would be good to highlight with your lighter color. That's the way I would do it. So if you've got any scrolling work or flowers or any detail, I would highlight it with the lighter color.
Connie says, got in late, almost out of boho.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so Amber now says, I'm doing a side table with 2 drawers and they do not look alike. And she's got a monkey face covering his eyes.
Amber, you know that they don't have to look alike. And keep in mind, they're not going to weather the same. One of them is going to fade more than the other because, hey, we use this drawer more often. So naturally, a hand's going to grab towards a piece of furniture more, so it's going to be more faded on the drawer that gets used more. So don't try to make them all matchy-matchy. So this is the little bit that I have on here, guys. You see, it's very little that I'm using on the center. Rebecca, are you looking, Rebecca? I'm calling you out, sis.
Okay, Terry says, do you ever lightly sand your pieces prior to the base coat for good adhesion, especially if the finish is shiny?
I do that maybe once every 5 or 6 pieces because DIY paint sticks so well that I hate sanding and I really have not found that it's necessary.
Rebecca says, gotcha. Yep, gotcha.
I just don't sand very often at all. Like I said, it may be once every 1 or 2 months that I find a piece that I have to sand. It wouldn't matter what paint my mother was using. She would sand every piece down to the very base wood, no matter what. So whatever you're comfortable with, do that, okay? That's what I encourage you to do. I just am telling you how I use with DIY paint. The clay base is so hard, and after a month that continues to harden. All the moisture gets sucked out of the clay, and it will harden like a mud. I mean, it's mud. So I'm continuing to add just a little bit more of the lighter color in the center on this piece. And in reality, over here, I feel like I need more coverage from my Bohemian Blue. So I'm going to go right back into the Bohemian Blue with the same brush And while it's still a little damp, just a little bit on the tip of my pixie brush, I'm going to go ahead and start from the edge and just kind of flick it in.
Terry says that's great to hear because she hates sanding too.
I'd rather be punched in the face. And it doesn't work well in the winter. I don't like opening the garage door and having the sand, but honestly, I'm not doing it just because I don't want to produce poor furniture either. I want stuff of quality, so I just don't feel like I have to. Okay.
It's gorgeous. I love it.
So we're in love over here. We're both really loving this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and put it in a little baggie to keep it from drying out, and then I'm going to be nosy and beg a couple of you to come take a look at this while Janae puts the heat gun on this and gets our base coat dry, okay? Whoops. We're not going to spill something. Whoops. Or we're not going to trip either.
I'm not going to get wet in my painting.
Painty it? I don't think so. I don't have any on the floor. Okay.
Where do you want me to dry?
Just wherever you see it's wet.
Can we start over there?
Yes, start over here, kind of do the same way. Okay. Okay, you guys, while she's drying that, yep, it's not very loud. Thank you, Kim. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. You're so sweet. Okay, then you need to stop. You need to stop with the water if the yellow's being pulled off. You need to stop and let it dry. You've got maybe a little bit too much paint on there if your paint is coming off. Because this piece that I started on, it was very shiny. It had a very thick top coat on it, and I did not sand it. But as you saw, I did not pull the paint off, so you may have just been using too much water, okay? Jerry Ann Smith, can I come in and take a look at what you're doing? Raise your hand if I can come see you. If we can take a look at what your piece looks like. Judith, if I can come in. Tanya, the highlight color is 057. You can also use sea glass. It's a soft turquoise. This is our gold piece. This is our gold. Okay, so this is what I'm wanting this to look like this. Okay. Okay. All right, Jerry. I'm going to see if I can get you pulled up here. Let me see if I can find Jerry, guys, and then we're going to take a peek at the piece that she's working on. Here she is. Horizontal. All right, Judith, I'm coming at you next. Thank you guys for being like super awesome. Gail, I'm hoping I can get you up too, sis. So it says that I'm sending you a message, Jerry. You should see something on your screen that says I'm inviting you to join. Make sure your phone is horizontal. And in your settings, what did you clean with prior to base coat pitting? I just used water. I just used a damp rag and cleaned off. This piece was in really great condition. So I just used water, and if your rag is basically clean other than dust, I didn't need to go back and do anything else. I know a lot of people use vinegar, just as simple. Okay, Jerry, it popped off. I got no answer from the live video guest. I'll try it one more time, Jerry.
Ma'am.
Hi!
Hey.
How are you?
Good, good.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you. It's good to see you too.
Awesome. What are you working on? Are you painting?
Yes.
Can I see?
Sure.
Okay.
What's up?
Oh, yes.
Let me get back a little bit.
Hey, this looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Are you feeling pretty good about it?
Yes, it's a lot more green than I expected, but I'm feeling good.
You do have a lot of green on it, but I mean, it's pulling green.
Yes.
But the only way, unless it bothers you, I mean, I would leave it. I think it's beautiful. But it may mean that you just need a little bit more of your bohemian blue on your brush.
On this door right here that I'm showing you, I have gone back and I'm adding more bohemian blue.
Okay.
It did not have very much.
Okay.
Yeah. So trying to add.
Well, I think it looks beautiful, but if you had more bohemian blue, you could basically do the exact same thing we just did.
Okay.
And just do the whole process over again is one thing that you could do.
Yeah, see that door right there is very green, a lot of yellow showing through.
Yeah.
I would like more blue on it.
Okay.
Okay.
So Debbie says, there's my lunch buddy, and she says it looks great.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you.
No, I think it looks good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for letting us look. I'm so glad that you're here in the class today, and it was so good to meet you and see your face again.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Let me know if you have any more questions, and thank you.
All right, see you guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, Judith, I'm coming at you, girl. This is just a time where I want everybody to kind of take in account to what we've just done, sit back. My piece is drying, and then we'll move on to the next step, okay? When my colors were wet, there was a difference. Now, as they dry, they are starting to look the same colors. Is this right? Well, Connie, I mean, you can kind of see my highlight color right here. What's probably happened is you're using the same brush just like I am, but you might be using too much of one of the colors, and therefore there's a lot left on the brush before you starting. So what you might want to do is start switching your brush. So go ahead and have one with the dark color and one with the light color. If you're feeling like your colors are blending too much, go ahead and use two separate brushes. I feel like I've got a good hand on how much paint to use each time, so maybe that might be something that would be better if you just use two brushes. And so if you're not liking the way that it looks at this point, you guys, you can do the exact same process over that we did. You can wet the top drawer, the first piece, the first section. You can dampen it just a little bit and then start back with the bohemian blue around the edge, okay? And then you can go in the middle, maybe with a different brush if you feel like your colors are blending too much. Use a different brush and then add your lighter color here. Just don't use too much paint, because now we've used three colors, okay, and we've got maybe like a third. What am I saying? A third. We don't want to get too heavy of paint on here. We're still trying to keep our layers thin. We've still got a red to use. We're going to come back in with a little bit of the old 57. We're going to come back in with a little bit of the yellow too. Okay, Judith. Judith, make sure your phone is sideways. There we go. Oh, Judith, it says that I can't bring you up in the broadcast at this time. Most of you I can, but it shows me that I can't bring you up. You don't have a little green camera next to your name. Janae, I think we're good. Yeah, I think it looks awesome. Perfect. Yep, I think it looks awesome. So Judith, I can't bring you up right now, honey. For some reason, you don't have the little green camera next to your name. Yes, Lisa, that's fine. Let's go. I'm coming at you, Lisa. Let me find you. I love being nosy. This is so much fun. I'm all like, what? Yes, I would love.
You want your LaCroix?
Let's go with the LaCroix. Who was I looking for?
Thank you.
Lisa. Oh, there's more than one Lisa. You guys are moving around on me fast. Not Lisa Nelson.
Rebecca is asking what you would use instead of the red or pink as an additional color.
Ooh, I'd use a shade of red or pink, honestly.
How long after do we have to watch?
You have up to 3 weeks to watch this class.
Okay,
You can come back in here every single day and look at it. What we found last time, I'm still looking for you, Lisa. I don't see you for some reason. What I found last time, as soon as the class was over, people started posting pictures of their piece, going, or going, look at this, I'm so excited. So
Lisa Julian Miller.
Yeah, I'm trying to find Lisa Julian Miller. Lisa, why are you not on here? Oh, no. I know her profile picture. I know her. Oh, she is. Oh, Lisa, honey, you don't have a camera next to your name either. For some reason, it's saying I can't pull you up. Lisa, do you have your phone horizontal to the side? You and Judith both don't have a little camera next to you, which means that either your settings, maybe you haven't allowed access to your phone or your audio, but something's not set up right to where I can pop you in here.
Lisa says yep.
She does?
Mm-hmm. She says yep.
Okay. I can. Kimberly's having so much fun. Kimberly, me too. I'm going to see you March 24th, right? Are you coming? What would you use instead of the red or pink as an additional color, Rebecca? I really want you to use red or pink. Do you have a yellow or an orange? Or is that not on your plan? I would use the yellow or an orange.
Coral?
Coral. Anything that's kind of warm. Okay, Lisa, I really want to bring you in. Yes, Rebecca, use coral. Lisa, I really want to bring you on here. So just check your settings and then maybe come back into the class. Meanwhile, I'm going to see if... who else said? Anybody else? Did anybody else say?
Kimberly, yes ma'am, me and hubby.
Okay, I'm glad he's feeling better. Then that means you'll be at the class. Okay, I'm just waiting to see if anybody else wants me to pop in on him before I get started again. Are we having fun?
Gail Tyler says yes.
Gail Tyler, that's right. I'm coming, sister. Forgot.
Jody says, I will.
Okay.
Marlis raises her hand.
Marlis, check it. All right, we're going to go see Gail first.
Okay, Beth Ann is asking, says, will this technique work on a large piece like a buffet with 3 sections?
Yes, absolutely. Just do it in those 3 sections. Absolutely.
Gail says she's on the laptop.
Okay, well that should work. It's okay. As long as, Gail, you have your settings set up to where you can access your camera. I'm still trying to find you, Gail.
Gail Tyler.
Yeah, everybody keeps hopping around. As people come and go, their little profile picture moves on me. Gail, it doesn't say I can pull you up either. You don't have the little green camera. I'm not able to pull you up.
Lisa says that she redid the first part to add more boho and now loving it.
Okay, that makes me so happy, Lisa. Okay, who else said? Marlis. Let me just get Marlis on here. Marlis has got a green. I'm sorry. Yeah, it says I can't pull you up, but Marlis, I'm coming.
Trisha Porter wants to know if you can give tips for finding different color combos, color wheel.
Yes, check the color wheel. My Marlis!
Baby,
Hi, sweetie.
you get to see me out in the dirty area.
What area? Where is this? Where do you do all of your work?
This in my workshop. I lost you. It's a total disaster area.
Well, that's okay. Oh, look, you've got all that space.
Oh, I can take you on a tour one of these days.
Okay. All right. I'd love that. Look at this pretty piece you're working on.
Well,
Oh, you're doing good, Marlis. Look at that. Everybody check out Marlis's. So
Everybody
you've got
see my
bohemian
Marlis.
blue, you've got Old 57 right there in the middle, and you've got yellow underneath. I love it.
these little things like somebody was talking about, the little curvies, and
Yes,
that's really hard.
it is hard, but I want you to continue to show the yellow through. I want that yellow to come through.
Okay, so scrape it more.
We're going to, you can scrape it if you want to, but I haven't done that just yet. But yeah, I want to be able to see that. And then we're going to add a little bit of the red. Do you have marquee with you today?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to be able to add some marquee to it as well. That's a really pretty piece.
Well, you know what? It's kind of disappointing because it's because it's a veneer and it's cracking on the top.
Oh, yeah.
Marlis that Tanya says it looks great.
This part's plastic.
Really?
Yes, it's was broken off, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to try it.
Yeah, that's all you can do is just try it. But it looks, I mean, from what we're seeing, we love it. It looks so pretty, Marlis.
Good, thank you, baby. Well,
okay.
I'll continue working.
Okay, I know it's going to be good. Thank you for letting me pop on here.
Thanks.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Lisa says that's helping with my swirly parts.
Okay, good. Good. So Lisa, no panic. Beth Ann, she's telling Marlis it looks good. Tanya's giving you some hearts, Marlis. Mostly they're all thinking, oh, good. I'm glad I can look at their stuff and they don't have to see mine. That's what they're really thinking. You changed some of your settings to public. Do you want to try me again? Yes. Lisa, I'm going to pop on here and try, and then I'm going to get started again because we need to do wet, and then we need to start with our handy dandy, you know what. Okay. Lisa, let's try again. Here we go. Yep, you got it now. You got a little green camera next to your name. I'm sending you a message. Do you see anything coming to you?
Allison says I will.
Okay. Y'all remind me when we do this again. When we, in just a little bit.
Do you see Lisa?
Yep.
Should get that. Pretty dry.
Yeah, pretty dry. It doesn't have to be all the way dry though. It just depends on how much. It depends on how much of the wood you want to show through. The wetter it is, the more of the paint's going to pull off, and so more of the wood's going to show through. So that's kind of how you need to gauge that. I don't mind wood coming through, but I needed this to be completely dry so I can basically wet it again, because a lot of times we work in stages. You may get an hour at a time that you work on a piece of furniture. So I'm wanting to show you how to re-wet it. What settings did she change? Judith, she went to settings and she made a lot of the things public, whereas she had a lot of things private. But you know what, Lisa, I sent you the message and it said you were available, but it says you didn't accept it. So I don't know if you just didn't see your message. I'm going to try it one more time. Christina, I understand. Sometimes I'm painting and I forget that I'm on camera. That's not good. I totally forget. Okay, Lisa.
Hey, I think I'm here.
Hey.
Hi.
It's so nice to meet you and hear your voice. I've been seeing your profile picture for a long time now.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching you for a long time.
Thank you for that.
I aspire to be you when I grow up.
Hey, I was aspiring to be you when I grow up.
Okay, you want to see my piece?
Yes, I do. Please show us. We are nosy. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay.
So I got to get back a
God,
little.
you got a pretty piece of furniture. Can we trade?
Yeah, it's really pretty. But see how my dogs are going crazy. But see all the yellow coming through?
Love it.
You do? It's not too much.
I love
Okay.
that. Yep.
So
We,
I haven't
Shanae agrees.
really.
We love that, don't we, ladies? We love seeing that yellow come through. I think you're doing
Okay.
a fantastic job. That looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to trade. So could you bring that over real quick?
What about the legs? Should I be putting more of the old 57 on the legs?
I want you to just leave the bohemian blue on the leg, and then I want you to take your brush very lightly with your old 57, just like on the tips.
Yeah.
And I want you just to feather over
Okay.
that, and just to kind of highlight. That's all I want you to do. And don't cover all that yellow. You let some of that yellow come through there.
So that's kind of what I did on this section.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some 57 feathered. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And if you feel like you covered up too much of the bohemian blue, go ahead and grab a little artistic brush.
Okay.
A little artist brush, and shove it down there in those little deep creases. That way you see the bohemian blue and the 057 and the yellow all together.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're awesome. Thank you for doing this. I'm so glad you figured out your settings too.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's get to painting, right?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, Lisa. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Is this the coolest thing? Thank you, Facebook. It's the funnest thing to be able to do this kind of stuff with people all over the world. Amber fixed hers and she loves it. Good job. High five. Right. Little fist bump. All right. I got to get off this floor before my legs go numb. Apparently, when you sit on the floor and you're almost 42, your legs go numb.
You need to have that stool she was talking about.
I need to have Matt build me that stool. You know, my birthday's Thursday, and I think that must be the problem because my legs are going numb sitting here.
That's what I can get you for your birthday then.
What are you going to get me?
Rollies.
You're going to get me a stool with rollies? All right. Put that on my list. All right.
Do you want me to scoot it back up?
Yes, please. Let's go up.
Excuse me, ladies.
And gentlemen.
And gentlemen. So sorry, Brian.
Can't forget Brian. I was so pumped when I first signed up for my class. Okay, remember this is what we're going for. Just a reminder, if you just popped on here, this is our goal inspiration piece. We're going to raise the camera back up, and we're going to start back over here at the top. We're working in sections.
Do you want to tilt it a little bit like you did earlier?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell me when.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. I'm going to grab another brush, and I'm going to grab my French tip. It's also by Paint Pixie. Just grab another brush. I'm just showing you what I'm using up close, okay? Your sister's birthday's March 8th? Mine too, Kim. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab my yellow.
See, Penny said you need a dolly.
I do. You're right, I do.
I'm gonna have to fix up something.
Okay. So, if you guys have caught any of my lives, you kind of know that I don't always have a plan. I just kind of go, and it kind of will start, and I'll have a plan, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm not really liking that. I'm going to change that right now. So, I'm not saying I'm doing that right now. I'm still going to get my Queen Bee and my marquee out. But I want you to have your putty knife. I want you to have a clean brush, whatever your brush style is. If you have, like, I should have told y'all this and I apologize, but I didn't. If you have a cup or some sort of separate plastic cup, paper cup, go ahead and grab that now. What I want you to do is put a little bit of Queen Bee in that and put a little water. So I want really, really, really runny Queen Bee. And this is really runny. Let me show you. I want really, really runny Queen Bee. You don't have to do it now. We're not going to use it just yet. I'm just letting you know. See how that's dripping? This is the consistency that we're going to use here in just a little while. So if you have a minute or during the break, take that. What do you use a French tip brush for? I'm going to use it for the red because I want to get it in the creases a little bit more. If you notice the piece, the inspirational piece, The red is around the edges, and then I put a dark wax over it to almost give it a muddy red look, which looks really good with the teal. Okay.
What do you use the French tip brush for?
That's what I was just answering, Rebecca.
I didn't hear.
That's okay.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sort of late.
Yeah, you're delayed.
Yeah.
I saw it on there. Okay. So, marquee. Then we're going to grab our water bottle. And I'm really feeling like I need my right hand for this. So, I hate to block the light, but I feel like I'm going to have to switch sides.
Am I moving?
And maybe move it a little more over here, Janae. And then they can see.
Where? Down?
Yeah, down and a little bit closer. Let's see if we can do that.
A little bit closer. Right here? Whole thing down or just the front?
The whole thing. I want to make sure you guys get a good angle. Okay, perfect. Okay. So, in this piece, in this photo, you can kind of see where the red is around each area. Now, it has to be subtle, you guys. It has to be very subtle. Otherwise, it's going to look like a hot mess. So, we're going to just get a little bit on our clean brush. We're going to lightly go over it. We're going to spray it with water. And so I just want you to see, that is more of a pinky, but that's because I put a brown wax over it. Okay. Okay, so clean brush. Get your red color, if that's what you're using. If you're not using a red, just find a contrasting color. Or if you really like yours the way it is and you don't want to mess with it, just leave it. We'll just, Jerry, I know, right? We'll just, if you don't want to add red, and if it seems a little too stark for you, don't panic, just don't do it, okay? You might want to just let me do it and see what you think about it, okay? So I'm going to apply a little bit of water right here. I'm going to get my clean brush. I'm just using the French tip because it's my favorite. I'm going to get a little bit of, look, this is all I'm using. You see? That's it. What kind of water bottle is that? The brand? I got it at Hobby Lobby, and it's Master's Touch. It's in the art aisle at Hobby Lobby. They're $9.99. Get your coupon, 50% off. That's what I'm talking about. So get your red right in here around the edges.
Doesn't look too red from, when you put it on.
Nope. And it's shiny right now because it's wet. When we're going to put a dark wax over it, it's going to give it more of a muddy look.
Jody says she's using Cowgirl Cool.
Okay, that's fine. Just don't use too much of it. We don't want to get it too bright, Jody. But that's a good choice. That's a good choice. There's no necessarily rhyme or reason where I'm putting it. And I'm going to work in small sections. I just need another color. I want you to come in and I want you to look at that. Janae, yeah, maybe actually just hold it much closer so they can see the detail here.
You're just going to tell me more.
That's perfect. So it's a little bit bright right here, you guys. But I'm not going to worry about that because when I add the dark wax, it's going to darken it a whole bunch. So you can still see the yellow, okay? And we're not even going to touch with the Old 57, okay? This is going to all dry back because it's super wet, and everything will look much more blended than it does now. Okay, let me go ahead and spray this part since she's holding the camera right here. Don't want your arm to fall off, so we'll just do just a little bit of red, you guys. I mean a smidge. I know it's really severe on this brush, but I just wiped it all back off. When I dipped it, I wiped it all back off. And you know that if you get too much, you can grab your putty knife. We're going to scrape it back off. See that? Okay, we're giving it a minute to set up. We're going to wipe. When you do this with your putty knife, wipe that paint off of your putty knife. Otherwise, you're throwing it right back on there and you're making it chunky. You see how the yellow's coming through? And we're naturally distressing it without actually having to sand, which is my favorite. Because what would we rather do than sand? Be punched in the face. Or as Janae would say, what? Get poked in the eye with a hot poker stick,
Yes.
something like that. That's
Yeah.
her favorite one.
Yeah.
This is fun. I'm learning lots. Awesome. Okay, y'all see what I'm doing there? I'm pulling the top layer off. I'm letting the yellow come through. Okay, come in closer. The lighting is kind of strange. Maybe I just need to get out of the way. Let me get out of the way. Okay, can everybody see that okay? Oh yeah, that made a big difference. Okay, so you can still see the yellow and all the layering, and then this basically just pulls, you can use it as much as you want. It's going to pull the paint off. I love it! Who loves it? I love it. Okay, all right. You can go ahead and clip it back on here so you don't break your arms.
It's fixing to be Blair Witch is what's fixing to happen.
Her arms are starting to burn. Burn! No, it's burning.
Do you need me to look? You want me to lower it? All of it? It's sort of a crazy
Oh gosh,
angle.
hang on. You touch something. Okay, I don't see anybody.
Oh God. I just thought I had it on the bottom.
Oh God. Hang on, guys.
Let me see.
You're on there. I'm not on here.
Oh. You're saying you're doing all the stuff you were just doing on the camera.
Okay, you guys hang on. I have my screen covered with, it's wanting me to invite group members to watch. Hang on a second.
But on here.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, I was going to say you're here. Sorry, guys. My bad.
That's okay. It pulled up a white screen and it said invite members to watch, so it wanted me to bring y'all all on here.
Yeah, somebody was saying, we can see you.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, my bad.
No worries. No worries. I'll move this over here, I think, and then I'll move over here now. I just wanted y'all to see that up close, and I needed to really use my right hand for that. Perfect. All right, I need a drink because that made me start sweating.
Trying to give you a heart attack. It's good.
It's good.
That's what sister-in-laws are for.
Yeah, she thinks that's funny. She thinks that's funny. All right, now we're gonna work on this area over here. Okay. Okay. A little bit of red. Okay, this is all I'm putting on this brush, you guys. See? Woo, a little bit. A little bit harder with the left hand, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to block the light.
Tony says it looks like the color of your lips.
It's the color I put on my lips last night. Tony, if you watched my live last night with Q, I turned around and the girl's putting kissing booth on her lips because she didn't have lipstick on. I wasn't going to let her outdo me. So I grabbed my marquee and I went the entire live with marquee on my lips. It's a pretty color. So now we're thinking DIY needs to have their own makeup line, right? I was like, talk about a natural paint. I went going 30 minutes with this paint on my lips.
Kim says you two are hilarious.
I don't know if we're hilarious, but we're something. My girlfriend gets me giggling. She throws me for a loop every single time. Every time.
Tony says she'd so use it.
There you go, girl. So you see that I'm doing the edges. I'm not going to really put a lot in here in the middle. This area here is mostly going to get my clear wax. Now there's not any paint on my brush, but just, thank you, Tony. I'm not adding any more, but I'm going to lightly brush over certain areas to basically just dry brush, okay? I'm just going to rub over the turquoise in a few areas.
Brian's saying his video has quit. Has anybody else's?
Your video quit. Did any of yours? But you're here. You're here. So you can read the comments, Brian, but you're not seeing a video? Okay, they're saying no.
Oh, he says it's good now.
Okay, it says Brian Link is watching. Okay, you're back. Okay, yay. You never just know about social media and Facebook, right? No, I'm here. Okay, Julie, everybody's here. Good, good, good. Brian, your little computer screen, it just needed a break. It was tired. It's tired. Okay, I'm just lightly going dry brushing with the red. When it dries, this is going to be so much more subtle. But I'm going to go ahead and use my putty knife. Janae, what time is it?
What time?
Yeah.
2:30.
Okay. The putty knife is what you're going to use to distress. Pull the top layer of the paint off. On anything where you have kind of ridges, I've got some trim right here, and I'm going to distress. And I'm just going to kind of get rocking and rolling with this red on the front. I'm just going to kind of start and keep going on all the drawers now. I think I'm really happy with that drawer, so I'm going to move on down just a bit. If you feel like you put too much red on, don't panic. Go back and use your other brush. Go back and get another brush and just add just a little bit of the Bohemian blue over the red if you feel like you applied too much, or your coral, or whatever other color it is you're using. Like, I feel like I got a little bit too much red right here, so I took a dry, clean brush and I'm just sweeping over it very lightly to pull the paint off.
Julie says, how does that putty knife not pull all the layers? Is that because you use it lightly?
I'm using it lightly, and I did not use a whole lot of water. You really would have to use a whole lot of water to pull all of it off. All right, so let's go down to the next drawer. Yes, please.
I think the back needs to be lowered a bit. Sorry, I know we're higher for a second.
No worries.
How's
Okay.
that? Lower?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I need more water. Guys, let me get this red on here on the front of the dresser, and then we'll take a little bit of a break, a little potty break. And we'll take like a little 5-minute break. As in, I need to go let my dog out. That's what I need to do. I had to go put Abby up. You know how she gets. She starts barking at everybody that walks by because she's sure they're going to kill me. She's sure they are.
Janet, let's see here. Kim says that the mister really is the trick to light application. She's going to go get one. And also, Janet Reed says, and do you ever spray your brush instead of the furniture?
No, I've never sprayed the brush, and you know, I've only been using this mister for like 3 or 4 weeks. So up until then, I used a regular heavy-duty spray bottle. So whatever works for you, but like with this photo and all the other pieces, I've never used the mister. So it takes practice. That's all I'm saying. It's just practice. But I think this bottle, what happens is sometimes the bottle's not heavy enough, this spray bottle. So I actually have both of them in here today, and I use both of them depending on what I'm trying to do, what look I'm going for.
Janet also said, do you sand the whole piece when you're done? I feel like it still feels chalky.
No, I won't sand any of it. I won't sand any of it. But if you get your paint too thick, then you can certainly do that. But I'm not going to sand any of this. I don't sand at all. All I use is this just to do my distressing. But I'll have both water bottles handy. Sorry guys, I'm losing my voice. I'll have both water bottles handy because really the mister sometimes really for me it doesn't even work strong enough. And you know that, you know, like with Kawita, she uses it basically as a power washer. But in a minute, like towards the end, we're going to get the other water bottle because I want more power behind it when I want to add a few of my drips with my yellow and my red. But I will not be sanding. I'm using all of the distressing right here with the petty knife.
Somebody says Q is so quiet today.
I think Q is in a meeting. She was on here at first, just peeking in. Rebecca, she had a meeting at 2. So that's why she's not commenting. I think she got on here for moral support and now she's busy. She'll be back. She already sent me a big message of words of encouragement this morning, so we would have a good, you know, for a good class.
Margie says, I drove 50 miles to get the stinking sprayer. It is great. And I got Bob Ross putty knife.
Yay! Atta girl!
She's also asking, she just says, may the Bobs be with me. Jerry is asking, do you distress with putty knife while the paint is wet?
Yes, always. Always, Jerry. Once it's dry, it's going to get too chunky. I want you to come in and look a little bit closer. Okay, so this is what we've been working on right here. Okay. May the Bobs be with me. I love you, Margie. Margie got me a pillow and brought it to me in my class that said, I poop magic. Yep.
I believe that.
Yep. Very sweet. Miss Margie is very sweet. And she brought me shampoo. She brought me all kinds of gifts. Spoils me. All right, let's go down to this last drawer. Nene.
Yep.
Let me go down a little bit.
You just said Nene.
Huh?
You just said Nene on Facebook. That's funny.
I'm not going to call you Janae. That'd be weird.
Are we too low right here?
Probably 7 paint. No, it's perfect. I love this piece. God, these colors. Okay. I'm gonna get a little bit of red, and when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit of teeny weeny. That's perfect, Janae. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna lightly dust my little flower down here. I have to turn and use my red.
Margie says she has to bring gifts, so you'll put up with her.
Is that your trick? I love it. No problem. That last class was pretty rowdy because we had 50 women. It was loud. It was so fun. So much fun.
Miriam says you make it look so easy. I can't wait to try.
Thank you, Miriam.
Ellen says her video just quit on me and went back to the beginning.
What? How strange. You'll have to go out of it and come back in. Go out of that, close out Facebook, come back into the class. Maybe try that. That's my recommendation. I'm going to do a little bit more red down here just because I can. Because I'm kind of liking it. You know that I never worry about it being balanced and exactly perfect. We have no reason to make it perfect because no piece of furniture is going to weather the exact same in every location. A little bit more water and grab my putty knife and start distressing while everything's still wet. Once we're done with this, our distressing is going to be over with. We're done. We're going to just start adding a little bit more yellow. I'm going to add a few more drips. You can choose whether you want to or not. We're going to get it dry, and then we've got to put our waxes on.
It's getting cloudy.
Huh? Well, it is getting cloudy.
Losing some sun.
Yeah, we are.
Might not be as. You don't have to worry about the weather so much.
Yeah. I was thinking we may, as the sun moves over here, we may have to actually close the curtains because it may get too bright as it comes in here.
You don't have to.
This is the wall I photograph on, and I know I can't usually photograph after 4 o'clock.
Kelly's asking, are you distressing to the wood layer?
No. Nope. Well, I don't know. Maybe in a few areas, Tanya. I see the wood in some of it, but mostly I'm pulling the red and the teal off of and showing the yellow. Mostly when I do scrape these edges right here, I'm seeing the yellow but no wood.
Rebecca says, not for this piece, but what stage do you use metallic glaze?
What stage is going to be on the very last? It's going to be usually even after I do wax. It'll be the very last thing that I do. Because the liquid glaze that I use is a top coat. So I've got the gold over there. So I'm actually thinking I might use some gold on this one, but we'll see. I don't want the class to go too long because I know you have, it's Saturday and you guys have things to do. But I do definitely wait for the metallic to be last.
Okay. Tanya says, thank you.
Okay. While we're low, I'm going to scoot over here and do this bottom drawer.
What's that look like?
That looks great.
Nice.
Yes.
Success.
Yes. You're an awesome camera girl,
Yes.
Nene.
Yes. Okay, Allison is asking, would love some input on where I should put the red.
Okay. Are you ready for me to pull you up, Allison? Is that what you want me to do?
Rebecca says thanks, all thanks, after, and then she says after the wax, and then Julie says we can.
We can. What does that mean?
I don't know. Just all it says.
Okay.
Oh, then it says we don't mind. We can just live here.
We can live here.
Mm-hmm. It says just live, just live. I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
I keep thinking live because you're on live. Miriam says is the metallic glaze from DIY as well.
Yes, it is. It's our golden ticket.
I hope I don't slaughter this name. Hikia?
Ikea.
Hikia, yeah.
Yeah.
She says, my piece has legs and I'm not sure how to place the red.
The red just needs to be on a dry brush and just kind of going over the edges, kind of. That's what I would do, Hikia. Like how I'm doing this piece, like this little trim piece right here, just over the side, just lightly dust it with a dry brush, as in try to get all the paint off of your brush. Who said that they want? Was it Amber or Allison?
For what?
I think Allison asked, and I said, "Do you want to come on and show me?"
And she
said placement for the red.
Allison says, "Sure."
Okay. Allison. That's Amber.
Allison Moore. S-Z-E-N. I don't know.
Allison, where are you? I don't see you. Okay, Allison, your phone is, or whatever you're using, is not set up to come on live because you're not one of my first few people. So tell me again what kind of piece. It's not showing that you're even available to come live. It doesn't have a green thing by your name, a green camera.
Do you see what Makeover says?
My legs look marbleized once sprayed because they are rounded. I think that's perfect.
Abigail says a strong pink, and she has a panicky face.
We're not panicking, Abigail. We're not panicking.
Lytle. Is that
Lytle.
like Joey Lytle?
I think the marbleized sounds wonderful. How do you pull the paint without scraping the under? You just do it softly. You just have to make sure that your scraper is a chiseled edge and it's a hard. You can't get the flimsy ones that don't have the chiseled, okay? And so when I'm sanding it, I'm pulling the top layers off and there's a little bit of wood coming through, the brown wood, but I'm not scraping all that hard.
Allison is saying, I have a tall dresser. Drawers are flat. Should I just go around the lips of the drawers?
Yes, in just a few areas. You don't have to do it exactly the same on every drawer. Just kind of like how I'm doing on this drawer. Just lightly kind of go over it in a few areas, maybe in the corner like this, how I'm doing this brush.
Gail says, did you say no chisel?
No, chiseled edge. Has to be chiseled edge, Gail. Make sure it's chiseled. I probably did say that, Gail, so you just busted me. Thank you for correcting me. I probably did say that. You were in my live class the other day, so you know. So see how I'm doing this, Allison? I didn't put any more paint on my brush, but I'm turning it sideways, and I'm just kind of doing it like in the powdery section, and I'm not even lifting my brush off of the piece. That's how you can do it, just to get a little bit of red shadowing.
Gail's laughing at you. LOL.
Okay, so that's another way. It's just more of a shadow, the way you would maybe apply like a wax. I'm not even going to lift my brush off, but I'm just doing this.
Okay, Ellen says, I'm going to be painting a desk. The drawers have a lip, not flush like yours. Should I pull the drawers out to paint behind the lip? Also, the legs on one side are turned. What is best to do there?
I would leave your drawers in and only pull them out afterwards. So I would do it in flat, and then after you're completely done, then I would pull them out and get underneath. That's how I do it. And then as far as your legs turned, I just brush your brush sideways over the legs. It's hard when that doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm trying to make a lot of sense.
Rebecca is asking, what if the piece is curvy? Is there a different technique with a putty knife?
Nope. I do the same things. I just bought the best curvy piece the other day. It was one of the pieces that I did. The whole front is rounded. It's like a half moon. I do the same exact thing with a putty knife.
Nancy is wanting to know, what is a chiseled edge?
Chiseled edge. At the very tip, and it will say it on the package, like when you buy one of these, at the very tip right here, it goes in. Okay, it's at an angle, so it gives it a little bit smooth finish. Like on a shovel, or what other tool has a chiseled edge? Like
Paint scrapers, obviously.
Paint scrapers, yeah, like something that has a chiseled edge.
It's just at an
do
angle,
screwdrivers have chiseled edge? Not really.
No, because they're flat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little bit of an angle, and mine's kind of worn down because it's really old.
Allison says, thank you. Someone needs to tell me later how to change the settings.
Yes, we need to work on that. Sorry, Allison.
Rebecca says, curvy one's hella sexy.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
I have a curved piece I want you to paint.
Well, this piece that I bought the other day, I cannot wait to show you guys. It's a buffet, and the whole thing is rounded. The door's rounded. It is going to be gorgeous. My next class on March 24th in person, I am doing a Monet look. So I'm giving a totally different technique that I have not showed anybody online. And I'm excited, but a little bit nervous. A little bit nervous because it's totally a more artistic approach to it. I need to get this one. Okay. Guys, about 10 more minutes and we're going to take a little break. I guess Elijah decided to stay at practice.
I was going to say, you didn't come back.
No. Matt tried to get him to go in the first place.
Okay, Janet Reed is saying, when I go to do the sides and top, do I need to make sure that the blues are dry before adding the red?
Yes, I would. Otherwise, it's going to blend together and you're going to get purple. I would.
Rebecca says this piece has a Monet feel.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I feel like a lot of mine end up doing that. I don't do it on purpose, but Monet was so good about blending colors and using a lot of blue and highlighter colors that a lot of my pieces I get told that it reminds them of a Monet.
Miriam is saying, will you ever do that technique in an online class for those of us that live 5,000 miles away? LOL.
I tell you what, Miriam, I'm going to see how the in-person class goes with my Monet look, my Monet dresser that I'm going to do, because basically it's very unconventional in how I get the look. And so let me see how that goes. And if it goes well, my plan was for my next online class to be my Monet look, because I do want to do something different too. So cross your fingers that everything goes well on March 24th.
Is that at Rick Brass?
Yes. And those tickets are available. If anybody wants to come see me, those tickets are available now on the turquoisecyrus.com. We're going to do the Monet look. And the secret is we got to paint the piece of furniture on its side. We don't even do it straight up. We do it totally on its side.
Julie says yes, please. And Miriam says yay.
Awesome.
With some happy hands.
Oh gosh, I'm loving how this looks.
It's gorgeous.
Do you like it?
I love it. This is how you're probably going to need to paint my curved piece.
What piece do you have?
I have a really cool old, like, I mean, I assume it's old, it looks old dresser that we got from an estate sale.
Uh-huh. Okay. Awesome.
But it's got like the top of it's curved that has, it's like a door that opens, the door is curved.
Oh yeah, that's what mine is.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool looking. Kim says, I'm in for the Monet look, and Tanya says, I want to see that Monet technique too.
All right.
So you're getting lots of it.
Awesome. Awesome. That's good to hear, guys. Thank you for your feedback on that.
We need to lift it a little bit. Can't see it too good now. emojis had my face in it. Sorry about that, people. Rebecca says, dang, want to do it in person, but we'll be in London and Paris. Taking my Betty goes to Paris.
Well, maybe the online class then will work for you, Rebecca. I want you to come too, but if it goes well in person, then we'll do it again online the next time.
Everybody is really excited about the way they look.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yes.
I'm glad we talked about it then. I get bored doing just the same kind of look, so I'm just constantly trying to teach myself to do something different that nobody else is doing. And right now I haven't seen anybody else paint a piece of furniture on its side, have you? 5 minutes, guys, and we'll take a break.
Brian says, I'd like to see them on YouTube, but I'm pretty far to go to Repaint Warehouse.
Hey, I've had several people from Canada come now. 2 people have come from Canada, Brian. But I totally understand. Very lightly here, guys. Very light.
Rebecca says, maybe I need to invite y'all down to my inn in May or June.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to come in May or June because of baseball season, but I'm going to be in Austin in June or July for baseball. I wouldn't have time to teach, but I could definitely stop in and say hello. Holla.
Let's see here. Kim says that she painted a tabletop on its side to get your drippy look.
Sweet.
And then Connie says, I think she's trying to say Monet will look fabulous.
Awesome.
Miguel Tyler says in Tennessee went. TN, Tennessee. What does she mean?
And Tennessee went. What you mean, Gail? What you mean, girl? Let's come over here.
Rebecca says July's perfect. I will make you a homemade pie.
It's gonna be hot in July. Shoot.
Better put some ice cream on
It'll be
that
hot in Austin, Texas, San Antonio,
thing.
girl.
As long as she's got ice cream on that thing.
Marla says it's totally worth it, y'all. Oh, gotcha. I will be in Nashville, Tennessee. When am I going? September 19th. I have to go.
Can you see that pop up? Those pictures? Do they pop up? In the
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see the pictures, but I see that Ellen has sent me something.
Mm-hmm.
Ellen, I see that you've sent me something.
So it's lovely.
And I'm going to pop over here to the laptop to see what you sent me because I can't look at it on my phone. I'm at that point where I feel like I need to walk away. So let me answer your question, Ellen, and look at this, and then we'll take a little break. Hang tight. So this is the piece she's working on right now? Oh, no. These are her other pieces.
It just popped up. I don't know.
I think she's just showing me what she's done. Okay. Painted this first piece and it only came to her after watching a video. Painted this second one after last tutorial. Okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a little bit of a break. I want all this to get dried, and then we're going to start with a little bit drippy, and y'all go get a snack or mess with your pieces, and I will be back shortly, okay? I can't log off, so I'll have to whisper. You get to stare at that. Good stuff. Okay.
It was really pretty.
Do you need anything?
No.
But I will, don't worry about it. Okay, you guys. Woo! Who's still with me? Had fun with you all in class. Have to go to my grandgirls to babysit this evening. Thank you for the tutorial, Dion. Terry, thank you so much for being here, sweetie. Okay. I'm just about dry here.
Do you need me to try and dry it some?
Hmm?
You want me to try and dry it?
No, it's okay. Oh, awesome, Joan. I'm so happy to hear that. Still here, Rebecca says, okay. All right, you guys. Sorry, I need to go potty. I had to eat something little. I'm going to get some gum because my voice is hoarse. Okay, so you're looking here and you can basically see the red, but you can't see the yellow. So the next thing we're going to do, the red seems a little bit bright. However, when we put our wax over it, our darker wax, it's going to deepen it a little bit and add another little layer. Sorry, guys, my voice is not all that great. So remember that yellow stuff? I said put in something, the yellow, or your bright color, that was your base coat. That's what I want you to do, and I want you to water it down a whole bunch. Now if you can get the DIY paint in Australia, right, Julie? I know, there's so many of you that want the paint in Australia. We're gonna come closer. I had to plug in the phone to charge it. Okay? So, I'm gonna put my lid on my two colors. And
Janet said, I'm here. I kept hearing you and I was thinking my cat was getting into stuff.
okay. Now we're gonna grab our yellow that we've watered down, or whatever your base color, your bright color is. This is the one. Kawita says, hi, it's Alyssa, loving the hat, girl. Oh, Alyssa's on Mama's phone. That's what she's doing. Hi, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay, so Queen Bee, was my base color. I'm scraping but not seeing any yellow come through, and I feel like my coral may be too much. Oh, Jody, honey, don't be frustrated. It's just paint. Use the dark wax. Christina, don't use the black with this one. Miriam? There's been 2 other people that have lost the video. You need to go out of Facebook and come back in. Go ahead and close it down and then come back into the group and start over. Okay. So, Queen Bee, I've watered it down. Oh, good. They're watching with us. Hi. That's got to be fun. Okay. Now I'm going to start a little bit of drippiness goodness. Again, you do as little or as much as you want to. Do not feel like you have to do the drippy if you do not want to. I see that Margie said something. What did she?
It says, okay, I can't do the Dion. I have studied, practiced, and taken the classes, and it just turns out ugly. So about 30 minutes ago, I started my own thing. I love the paint and the technique. I'll see what I can make. I know that's what it's about anyway.
That's right, Margie. You're your own artist. And I know you've got a totally, totally great creative side there. So I'm anxious to see what you come up with, Margie. But not everybody's going to like the Dion, want to do the Dion, but this is going to be a watered down yellow. We're going to start a little bit of drippy, not much. We're going to spray it, and we're going to encourage it to drip just a little bit. We're not going to do it real heavy. And so again, I want to show you the texture of the yellow, or the base color, whatever your base color was. Okay, it's drippy. So I'm dipping my petty knife in it. I'm just going to let it drip on here. Let it go a few little places here. And I'm going to spray it. I'm going to encourage it to drip. Now you might actually bring the camera a little bit closer.
Yep.
So I have to be on this side.
Can we? Do you have an extension cord? Can I unplug the dryer?
Yeah? Yes. Let's do that. We're going to get you closer here in just a minute, you guys, so you can see this better. right now, but again, we haven't got our dark wax on. And I'm just randomly putting this. I have no rhyme or reason.
What's that look like?
That looks great. Thank you.
Closer?
Perfect.
Really
Nope,
good.
I think
Okay.
that looks
Okay.
actually perfect.
Okay.
Everybody happy with, you guys can see okay? So I'm gonna grab my water and I'm gonna squirt over the drips to encourage it to thin out and keep it running. I can decide if I want to leave that yellow drip right there. You can use your finger and maybe pull it along that way. It causes a few more drips. You can kind of blend it out, or you can grab your putty knife. Okay, if you want to smooth it this way, you don't really want to drip, but you want to blend it a little bit better. Lightly go over it this way.
Kim is asking, Dion, is your phone sideways when you do these lives?
Always sideways. Who is that? Kim Sprato? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did you save the day, baby?
Good job.
Good job, baby.
Good job.
My oldest son had to go save my youngest son at practice, who left for practice without his glove. So my oldest son had to drive it to his practice for him. Not that he had a choice. It wasn't like he volunteered.
Kim says that she tried to do that yesterday and it made me upright my phone, she said.
Okay, Kim, we were at Debbie's when we were in California last week, and hers was doing that same thing. Every time I would turn her phone sideways like I do mine, it was wanting to turn it upright. I don't know what's up with that, but if we didn't turn it upright, we would have been sideways. So if it's encouraging you to go upright, then just leave it that way. For some reason, mine needs me to be horizontal, and I have an iPhone 8. All the updates, so I really don't know why it's any different. But if it wants you to leave it upright, then leave it upright. I don't have an explanation for that. Facebook is wonky. Okay, so you can see the yellow is all down in these grooves. Well, and I just love it.
That's cool.
I just love it. So I'm going to move on over here a little bit. We need to get this going all over the entire piece so we can get it dry and get some wax action going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is the part where I start going, ooh, yeah, this is the good stuff. This is where it's starting to get good. I'm going to go over here to this goodness. How's everybody doing? Y'all are quiet. Y'all are kind of quiet. Okay. Look. I'm just pulling it over there. Just in a few spots. It's really watered down because I put it in this cup, half and half water, half queen bee. I'm using my base coat.
Rebecca says we were mesmerized.
Okay.
And people
As long as it's
encouraging Margie to show hers.
As long as it's mesmerized and not weirded out, I'm good.
Marla says I'm back. I had to run to the house.
Oh, good. Well, you didn't miss much, darling. I just put a little yellow over here, and now I'm starting over here. If you want it more thinned out, you just spray more water. Or, if you don't like the way this looks, of course, it's going to soften as it dries, but you can just lightly run your scraper over it, and it just kind of thins it out a little bit.
Beth Ann says, I don't enjoy waxing. I have carpal tunnel in both hands. Could we use a dark glaze with a poly instead?
With a poly?
Mm-hmm. That's what she says. With a poly instead.
Yeah. You can definitely use that. Use what you're comfortable with. There's a product that's a clear top coat from DIY that's called Big Top, and we could also do that. I just want more shadowing, and I like to use the waxes, but I completely understand if it's uncomfortable for you. Just don't even try to do that. You can definitely use your whatever top coat of your choice. You can use it if it's got poly. That's fine.
Tanya says it looks awesome.
Thank you. I'm really, really happy with this.
Beth Ann also says thank you for the advice.
Okay. Whoop. Okay, let's go on down to the second.
It says, Amber says, are you spraying first? Sorry, I was concentrating on my piece.
Yes. Spray it first, very lightly, and grab your watered down color and start getting after it. And then sits there for a second and then spray it some more. As you can see, I'm not being too careful. I'm making messes here. And I'm loving it. I'm loving making the mess.
Jane says, can I put more blue if too much yellow?
Of course. Of course. Just keep it very lightly. Make sure all of your layers are very thin. I'm doing this drawer a little different because I just wanted you guys to see you don't have to do it the exact same. You don't have to be so precise either. I intentionally did that a little bit differently, the way I just kind of threw it on the middle here. Because if you make a mistake or you feel like you used too much, you just spray it and just blast it with your power washer, if you know what I mean, and get it running down, and then use your scraper lightly.
Tanya says, I like more extreme drips, but maybe I'm tacky.
I kind of like them too. We can tilt this, can't we? There we go. There we go. Okay, so see how I have the more extreme drips right here on this bottom one? If you don't like them, add more water. And you see that you're basically pushing them down. If this chunk of yellow that's sitting at the bottom, something like that, bothers you, just use your putty knife and scrape it and then wipe it off with a rag or your drop cloth like me. Now,
Allison is saying that heavy spray isn't affecting your other colors. Question.
nope, it's not. It's not moving my teal at all, and it's not moving my red at all because they are completely dry. It's not bothering them at all. The only thing moving at this point is the yellow. Okay, I love this part right here. I need to make sure y'all see this. So I pull this off here, Nay?
Okay, right here.
This.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then just take it out. There you go.
I want y'all to see this. Hang on, guys. I'm sorry. You see that? At the bottom, that flower? Yeah, I love her. I love everything about her. She's shiny because she's wet. But when she's dry, I love every single thing about this whole leg right here. Oh, let me see. Okay.
Miriam says it's beautiful.
Thank you, Miriam. Okay. So we've added a little bit of yellow drip to this side. Now we need to move over to this side, get it dry, and start waxing.
So Penny says that fine mist would be great because when I use my spray bottle on the dry paint, sometimes I get spots because it's not a fine mist.
Okay.
And Abigail says it's cute.
Okay. I understand what you're saying, but again, I'm just now starting to use this fine sprayer. I'm just still getting used to it. I've been using a really heavy duty bottle up until now.
I don't know if that's Liesel or Liesel.
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 Mm-hmm.
Says that looks stunning.
Oh, thank you, Liesel. Liesel is in Germany.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, remember our inspiration piece? Are we getting close? What y'all think? Yeah, I'm pretty psyched. I think it's good. And yes, those are paint cans hung on the wall because this girl be crazy up in here. You know it. Okay, let's go up to the top. Maybe I should use my other water bottle to show you guys the difference. I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to use the other water bottle after this.
Margie put wowzers.
You like it, Miss Margie? Okay. I'm just going to start randomly.
Beth Ann says, sorry I lost connection. Thought it was because I'm on well water.
Well water?
That's what it says. Rebecca says, looks great. Got a scoop. We'll catch the finish later.
Okay.
And Margie says, yes, it's so lovely.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for joining me. Thanks, Margie. Okay. No rhyme or reason. I'm going to spread it out a little bit here, and then I'm going to spray it some more with water. Everybody doing okay? Jody, are you still upset and frustrated? Okay, I'm going to go back to the sprayer. I'm just going to show you guys the difference, okay?
Trisha is asking, will Dion be showing us how to finish the top and lower sides?
I will definitely show you how to finish the top and or sides, yes. I may not do it in like right now in this moment, only because I know some of you need to scoot. But what I could do is come back live. I don't know. Let's just see how long it takes me to get this finished. I don't want to occupy so much of your time.
Lisa says it's been awesome. You're a great teacher.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Jody says I'm working on it.
Okay, dear.
The programs.
Don't you panic. Don't you panic, girlfriend. Okay, I'm just going to use the other water bottle so you guys can kind of get the same look that I am. That way I don't feel like I'm using something that you don't have. That's not fair. I'm starting to feel bad.
Lisa's saying she has to go, but it was a perfect treat after spending a couple days this week scraping off a glittery popcorn ceiling.
Ooh, yeah. It's good to end on something fun. That's right. You don't like your blended areas, Jerry? I want to go back and make them smoother, more blended. All right. You need to let it all dry. And you need to start with a little bit of water, and you need to start kind of blending your two colors again, okay? But I would let it dry first. Don't panic. Just take your time with it. It's practice, you guys. That's what we're doing. We're practicing. You all see okay? Yep.
Jerry says, okay, no panic, thank you.
No panicking, Jerry.
Karen says, I think I finally mastered the drippies.
Karen, woohoo! I'm so proud of you. Watch this crazy girl enough times to get it figured out. Okay. I'm really happy with it. Is anybody else happy?
Me.
Nene's happy.
I like it.
Okay. So why don't we do this? While this is drying, since everybody's asking me about the top, we need to move up to the top, don't we? Let's do that. Okay, Nene, let's raise this stem up. And while the front is drying before the wax, we will apply our Bohemian Blue. We'll try to get it as high as we can, and then we'll angle it down.
Might be as high as it gets, girl.
Yep, that's good. And then we'll just angle it down.
If we want it over like at this, from over here? Down or?
Let's see. I'm afraid they can't see that direction. I think we
Over
need
here?
to go over. I think we do. I think we need to go over here. Hang tight, ladies, gentlemen. Yeah, this is definitely better for some reason. Everybody see okay? Thank you, Lisa. Right.
Nicole Nichols says she can't wait to get home and start hers.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Okay. Let's see if I can take some of the pressure off the phone that way, Janae.
Yeah, okay.
You know, maybe that'll work, right? Seems okay. Okay, you guys. Okay, so while this front is drying, really the only thing we have left to do on the front is to add our finishing touch, our finishing coat. Okay, so here I've got my base coat of the Queen Bee.
Okay, Amber says she's obsessed with hers. Kim says it's perfect. Amber says, thank you for this.
I'm so glad. You were so worried. I knew you could do it. You watched me enough. I knew you could do it. Okay, I'm just making sure there's no dust on here. And I need a swig of LaCroix in just a moment. Okay, so grab your dark color. If it's Bohemian Blue, grab your boho. Also grab your light highlighter color and have it handy. The top, because it's one big space, we gotta work kind of fast. Start from the front. Now, if your colors ended up getting too blended, then go ahead and use two different brushes. I'm going to just use my one. I'm going to keep them in a bag while I'm doing these so my brushes don't dry out.
It says, Nicole Nichols says, do you ever sand the top when you've completed?
I don't usually, Nicole, I don't usually have to sand the top. If it gets too chunky or if there is too much of a mess, I may grab a sanding block, like a fine sanding block, and go ahead and cover the areas if I get it too dark, or if the dark color puddles a little bit too much. I definitely have done that before, yes. I don't ever use an electric sander with the DIY paint. I feel like it's too heavy, and it's really not necessary. You can do wet sanding, which is, of course, if you just I spray water on a rag and I go over it lightly, that pretty much will pull the top layer of paint off as well. Karen, I appreciate that, honey. I'm so glad you're learning something. Hopefully it makes you feel better about what you're doing, I hope. And I'm going to go back to my old bottle, you guys. Since you guys don't have that mist sprayer, I want to make sure I'm using what you're using. So I'm just going to start. Now, because this is a big piece, your husband's here. I am going to work in the front and okay, so obviously I want it to be like this is one big drawer, okay? So the dark color is going to be all around here, okay? And then the light color in the center. That's how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to start with the dark here, and then I'm going to filter in a little bit of the 057 right here in the center, okay? But I'm going to do it pretty quickly. Okay, so I'm still just adding Bohemian Blue. Trying to work quickly while the paint's wet. Yeah, with the clay-based paint, you really only need to use a fine sanding block or wet sanding. That's what I found to be best. The very first time I used chalk paint, I made a mistake of treating it the way that I did with my latex paint. I got that sucker after it, and then paint just started flying off of it. Oh, I'm so glad that you love what you're doing. Okay, I've got to add more water.
Your cord.
I mean, what?
Extra long.
Oh, wow.
For your phone. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. If he wants to load that piece up, he's just in the garage.
Okay, well, it's fine.
Okay, so guys, I'm moving really quickly. Sorry, I know y'all hear things. Matt will do that, and he'll think he's being quiet, and I'm like, okay, hang tight, guys. We're just still with the Bohemian Blue. I know that your piece might be smaller than mine, but I'm trying to keep it wet the whole time. That's kind of what I need to do, is keep the whole piece wet, and then start layering my the lighter color, okay? We'll also add a little bit of red to this, so this will be fun. We'll add a little bit of red.
Jody says did you see what Jody said?
No, I
Okay,
can't
hold
see
on.
it.
Hold on, I'm trying to see what I missed. Sorry about that. I was trying to make it and be crazy loud. Okay, Margie said your colors work. I think, then I step back and it totally works.
Oh, good. That's good then.
And then Nicole Nichols says that makes sense. I used an electric one once, talking about your sanding earlier, and said it wasn't good and she had to repaint. Kathy says it doesn't look like yours, but she's loving what she's done.
Oh, good.
Tony says, watch out, don't get your hair in the paint.
Oh, thank you for the warning. I do that. It's getting longer on me and I'm forgetting.
Tony also says something about adding texture. Would just add texture. I'm assuming that's something what you're talking about. Jody says, what I'm realizing is that I just have to figure out my touch. It seems a little heavy and I need to think lighter. Thanks for checking on me. And
Okay.
Abigail says her piece is 6 foot long.
Okay. I still want to see that, Abigail. I hope that when this is over, you'll post pictures. Last class, everybody was loving seeing everybody's work. So I hope that you guys will feel comfortable sharing. So I'm ready to spritz it if it starts to dry on me, okay? Just very lightly, you guys. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit more kind of around here just because I want to, just for fun. And I'm going to do a little bit more over here.
That's gorgeous. I love it.
Thank you.
These colors make me want to redo my house.
Thank you. Okay, so while it's still wet, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and I want to do a little bit. It's going to fall off. Not good. I'm going to go ahead and grab just a little bit of the red. Okay. I just want a little bit up top, not much, but I don't want it to completely be different than this down here. So I'm going to add just a little bit of red. Margie, heavens, that's a beast.
I think she's talking about that 6 foot long piece.
Yes. Abigail's very ambitious. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my brush that I was using for the red. I'm going to dip just a tip. See? Just a tip. It's still wet. I'm going to do just a little bit here. Can y'all see that? Janae, what's that look like?
I'm on delay, girl. I can't even see it yet. On here. I apologize.
That's not your fault. No worries.
Now I can see it.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. I know I'm going to do it really quickly and softly because if I put too much pressure and blend, it's going to turn purple on me. And I don't want the purple color. I'm just
Kim says she thinks it looks good.
Okay. Just a few little streaks in here in the middle. And then I'll get my yellow drippy stuff and drip a few spots on here. And then while this is drying, we'll move over to the front for the wax. Doesn't need to be.
Nicole wants to know if the red is watered down at all.
No, the red is not. I'm just using a tiny, tiny bit, and you can see that my colors are blended anyway, because this was bright red, and now it's turned purple because a little bit of the Bohemian blue pulled off of it. What effect would dilute vinegar have on top? It would be very splotchy. It would have a bunch of circles on it. It would look really cool. It would look like it's something that has weathered outside for a very long time. That's what that would do. And I think if you have the right piece, that would be a really cool look. Okay, I'm going to put my brushes back in my bag. I'm pretty well done with them for the top. I'm going to grab my putty knife and my yellow drippy, watered down yellow. And as you can see, the top has not taken me that long at all. Okay, so we're going to make this subtle. You see that it's drippy. Okay. It's easier to start on the sides and just do a few. You may just actually turn your knife like this and kind of just put a few little, like this, and then spritz a little water over it so it kind of blends out and spreads out on its own. Okay, now I'm going to get my water bottle. I'm not going to do too much water. I'm just going to spritz where I applied the yellow, just like one drop, and then pull the yellow over. Pull the yellow all the way over.
Beth Ann is asking, do you always paint the top or you just stain some for the contrast?
I usually always paint the top. If it's really, really, really good wood, then yeah, I'll stain it. But I do the piece like that maybe once every 6 months. I typically will paint the top, and that's mostly because that's my business. So I usually just do it that way because I need a lot of material to show everybody usually. So and a lot of people want to know how to paint the top, so I end up always being asked to paint the top. If that makes any sense, I hope it does. I love the look of the stained top. I did a gray piece recently, maybe in January, and I did gray and I left the top wood and put a fresh coat of Dark and Decrepit on it. And so that should be in January. If you want to look back at that piece, you might remember it. So as you can see, I just pulled the yellow over the teal in a few areas. And if I decided that the yellow were too heavy, that's when I would either water it down more and spread it out further, or grab my sanding block. Okay. Can you guys still see okay?
Bethany says she's got it and she'll go check it out.
Okay. Okay, more yellow over here.
Allison says she loves it with our eyes.
Awesome.
Nicole says she can see just fine.
Okay, great. Thank you guys for your input. It really helps me figure out what works and what doesn't for the next class. Okay. More water over the yellow. Just kind of lightly pulling out. I mean, I'm pretty well only holding this with 2 fingers. So it's just very lightly grazing over the surface of the buffet. Okay, I got a little.
Says it's looking great, you know.
Thank you, dear. I got a little bit too much water on this one, so I'm having to kind of pull it a little bit further over and spread out the water.
Kim says, I just scored a 9-drawer chest similar to yours, and I'm going to do this too. It's so excited.
Woo! Who was it, Kim? Which one?
Kim S. brought it.
Okay, awesome. Well, you better show photos, Miss Kim.
Beth Ann says she found it.
Oh, good. That, I would show it to you here, but the piece already sold and got picked up. Okay, guys, this is all there is to it, really. I don't worry about doing drifties. I just pull the paint across the other colors.
Kim says, you know I will. Hugs and X's nose.
Okay.
Nicole Nichols says, I wish I'd watered down the coral like on my last piece for the first class. So soft.
Okay.
And then Marla says, awesome, Kim. Can't wait to see. And Beth Ann says, looks like stain. I've not used dark and decrepit. Is it similar to stain for application?
Yes, very much. It's a top coat, but it's a liquid patina, and you can use it as a top coat.
Christina says, I love mine so much. It looks like I got this in Mexico, which is way more exciting than the fisherman I got it from in New Bedford.
Oh, Christina, I can't wait to see it. You promise you'll share pictures?
Beth Ann says, thank you.
Hopefully there'll still be enough light where you are, Christina, so you can show us pictures today. Otherwise, you show us first thing in the morning. Okay. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Okay, it's going to be a little bit noisier in here because now not only are Janae and I here, but there's 4 other people in the house.
All men.
And they're all men, and they want to watch an OU baseball game. So I'm going to apologize now, but they've been told that they're supposed to be quiet. Yeah.
So Nicole says this, wish I had watered the coral like you have done the yellow, is what I was trying to say. So
I knew what you meant.
I apologize to her because I probably didn't read it properly.
And I knew what you meant. I should have had you guys do that because you were just going with the class, right? So the sun is moving, and I'm going to need to pull this.
Kim said she lost the last hour, but she finally got her internet back, so she's glad that she can watch it for a few weeks.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know it just got dark. I'm adjusting the light, you guys, because I want to add wax. The sun has moved over into the west, and so it's kind of starting to shine right in this window. Okay, Janae, I'm going to have everybody, I'm going to see if anybody wants me to pop in and look.
Mm-hmm.
What I'd like for you to do is see if you can get this dry so we can start waxing the front.
Can we, is your phone enough where we can unplug it?
Yes.
Okay. And because
No, we're live.
We could take this out, you could plug it in for your phone.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to see if anybody wants to go live with me. Raise your hand, okay? Because I'm going to need this section right here to dry so I can put wax on it. And then, like Christina, I really want to see all of you that are in love with your piece. I really want to see. What am I doing wrong, honey? What am I doing wrong?
Oh,
is it this?
This.
See, Margie? Yes, Christina, we're going to bully you. Let us in. Let us see. Okay. Okay. That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm going to pop in on them while you see if you can blow dry that for me.
On top or front?
Just everywhere where it's wet.
Okay.
Okay. Christina, are you going to let me come in? Ha! You like being put on the spot like that? Oh, you can't even see my face. All right, Janae's working on that piece. Oh. Okay. Abigail, look at you! Okay, Abigail, I'm coming. You ready? I know I'm crooked, guys. I'm sorry. Everything's getting off a little bit as the day has gone by. It's crooked. Sorry, we're going to do this. Abigail? Let me see if I can find you, sweetie. Okay, Abigail, I want to pull you up, but your phone, it doesn't say that you have a green camera next to your name, which means I can't pull you up. Can you turn your phone horizontal? And I know I've brought you on here before. We've done this before, so, and I know you go live all the time. See if there's something you can adjust, and then I'll check back in with you in a second. Janet says I'm raising my hand. Janet Reed, let me see if I can pull you up and take a look at what you're doing. Janet Reed. I'm looking. There you are. Okay. Janet, have your phone to the side, horizontal, and you're going to get a message that says I'm inviting you to join me.
Hi,
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, my dog's trying to bark. Sorry.
That's okay. I got one of those.
I have two.
How's it going?
I think okay. I think my drips are too drippy.
Okay.
Is that a word?
Let me see.
Too drippy. Okay, I'm gonna turn around. I think. Okay.
Ooh. Oh, that looks beautiful.
No.
I don't think it looks too drippy.
Or too watery. I guess maybe that's my.
I love it.
Okay. I didn't have Queen Bee. I'll step back. It's too bright behind it. I used cake batter, so it's a little lighter. Okay.
That's a great combination. I personally love that.
Okay. And you think it like that? Like it? See how it like kind of watered? Like it ran down? Did I use too much water? Or is that okay?
That's probably because you use too much water.
Okay.
But I personally like that. If you don't,
okay.
Do you have a sanding block, like a fine sanding block?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what I would do is if it's bothering you, then
okay.
I would just lightly go over those drips and take off the top layer. That's all you have to do is just take off the top layer. If that doesn't work for you, then go ahead and get a wet rag.
Mm-hmm.
Don't spray the water on the piece of furniture, but spray it on the rag. And then lightly get rid of those drips, okay?
Okay.
I like it though.
Okay, and really quick, I cannot believe that you don't sand. Like, when you're done with, you don't sand the whole thing?
No, not at all. Never.
Okay, nobody ever comments. People are always like, because I sell DIY paint, so I sell a lot of painted furniture. People always want it like really smooth. So I always try to sand it like with a really fine sanding block, just so everything's like really smooth and all of that. But maybe I don't, maybe I'm wasting my time.
I say if that's what you are comfortable with, I say do it. Go for it. I just don't ever do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, heck, if I can get away with not doing it.
Well, you do what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a couple of areas that have too much chunky paint on them and you do prefer, then definitely go ahead and do that.
Okay, so just really quick, like here, you would do where you would take off the paint rather than go with the Bohemian blue and try to cover it.
I would not cover it, no.
Okay.
You're doing so good. That is so pretty. I'm so glad that I got this chance to meet you. I didn't know you were a retailer, Janet.
Yes, I am. Yes. Yep.
Wonderful.
I'm outside of St. Louis.
Wonderful. I'm so glad that you popped on here. It's nice to meet you, and thank you for joining me on my class.
Yes, thank you. Having a good time.
You're doing a fantastic job. I love that.
Thanks. Thank you. Okay,
bye-bye. We'll talk to you soon. Happy painting.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, bye. Oh my goodness, that was so pretty, right? That was so pretty. Okay, Abigail, you want to try it one more time? Let me try it and see if Abigail's set up right. It's interesting. It will tell me which of you, it puts a little green camera next to your name and tells me which of you are set up. Abigail, it's not showing me your camera. You're not able to go on live with me. Anybody else Want me to check in on you? Mandy, don't you want me to pop in on you? Abigail Vital. Okay, there she is. I'll try it. She asked me this time if she could come on. There she is. Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm having so much fun. Look at that beast of a piece you have behind you.
I think I bit off more than I can chew.
Nah, you got this,
So
girl.
big.
I think it's beautiful.
Thank you. I almost feel like it's too subtle. Like I don't know, maybe I should add some more red to it because the blue is kind of taken over a lot.
I like that you started with less because that's so much easier to add rather than take away.
Yes.
So I'm thinking if you want more color, that it might be better to go ahead and grab more yellow as opposed to the red.
To the red, okay.
And also, when you add your wax, you're going to have even more variation between your blues.
Okay.
So that maybe that's enough texture for you. But if I were you, I don't really see the yellow in this picture.
Okay.
Are you using yellow?
Yes, I am. I didn't add a lot when we started going in because when I went in with the putty knife and I was scraping, a lot of yellow started coming through. Let me see if I can get you closer. Oh no, I'm sorry,
It's okay.
my stand here is
Okay,
so
I
long.
see it.
So
I
it
see
started
it
coming through here.
It's
But
really
I think
pretty.
it's too subtle. It might be too subtle, maybe. So maybe I should add some more yellow to it.
Maybe some more yellow.
Okay.
Also, like if you're wanting to do the red, go ahead and put it on your brush and then wipe all of it off on like a napkin and then maybe just dry brush.
Dry brush. Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
I'll do that.
Like
yes.
dip it in your red and then rub it on a napkin and then just kind of, dry brush it on there without picking up your brush. Just kind of rub it on there a little bit.
Like rub it. Okay.
To add more shading.
Okay.
It looks awesome. Are you having fun?
Thank you. I am. I started losing track of time. I can't believe we've been in here already this long. So it's awesome.
I know. I'm sorry, you guys. This happens to me all the time.
No, it's so much fun. It's great.
But the kids, your husband and your kids are probably wondering where you are, what you're doing.
My husband is right here. And I was like, you need to come on. Come here. I want her to meet you. Come here. He won't come.
Come on, Abigail's husband.
See, Ryan. His name's Ryan.
Mine's
Say
right
hi.
here, too, and he never gets on camera. Mine's right here, standing here.
He helps me so much.
That's awesome. Oh, hi. How are you? It's nice to meet you.
You too. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, thank you for letting me pop in on you, Abigail.
Absolutely.
I think you're doing an awesome job. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We're all going to be waiting to see the finished piece because you did tackle a big piece of furniture.
This is definitely my biggest challenge that I've had. So thank you for doing this class.
Absolutely. Well, post your pictures when you're finished, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
I will.
bye, darling. Have a great weekend.
Bye. You too.
All right, I think we're ready for wax.
She's the top. Yeah, it's the only thing, not the red.
I love it. I love it. I know I'm a dork. I don't care. I love it. Okay, we need to come in closer. We're going to grab our wax, clear and dark. You can stop that. You can stop that, sweetie.
It's really pretty.
Okay. Is it you? I guess it has to be you. Okay, guys, we're going to start waxing. I'm going to bring you down a little bit.
I'll just hold that for your phone. Are you okay?
I really don't know what I don't know what I'm at. I was plugged in just now.
Okay.
So I feel like we're probably okay. Guys, let me bring you down. I'm going to have to sit on the floor to do the wax. She was doing a good job, wasn't she? How you holding up, Marlis? Can I use the top coat, then darken to crep it? Yes, you sure can, Gail. That'll work perfectly. Okay, can y'all see the whole piece? Okay. It's got really bright in here, you guys. I apologize. Can y'all see okay? Let me know if you can see okay on your screen. Is that better? Okay. All right. Okay, so I want to use a little bit of dark, and I'm going to use a dark wax around my edges for even more shading, okay? So I keep my dark and my clear. So this one I'll do clear and white, and then this one I'll do dark and black, okay? And DIY only has 4 wax colors, so I just use the 2 brushes. Okay. So one tip that we try to do is, if the dark wax can come on pretty strong. So if you're unsure and it's your first time for using dark wax, I would recommend that you put the clear on first, so you have more control over the dark wax. Debbie, you have watermarks. Will they go away? It seems to be dry. They probably will not go away. You mean water drips, right? Isn't that what you mean, Debbie? If it's bothering you, because I actually encourage mine and like for mine to stay, Debbie, if it's bothering you, go ahead and use a sanding block or grab a wet rag, okay? Spray a little bit of water on a napkin, paper towel, and try to go over it a little bit if it's bothering you, but don't try to paint over it. That'll just make it look chunky. I'm gonna have to take this bracelet off. As the sun's moving over, I'm getting warm in here. Okay, but I'm going to start with the dark because I'm pretty comfortable with it. So I'm just going to go right into the dark. But like I said, if you are unsure and don't use a dark wax very often or don't use one at all, or if you're using dark and decrepit, sometimes it's just best to go ahead and put a clear wax on first and then add the dark over it, because otherwise it could get too dark on you and you may not like the way that that looks, okay? So this is the dark. One thing, if you are going to use DIY, there's a QR code and you can add this app to your phone. If you add the QR app and then you scan this little code, a tutorial will pop up from Miss Debbie Beard of Debbie's Design Diary. It's that way on all of our products. She's put together so many tutorials that they are loaded up by using this QR code. I don't know of any other paint company that does that, and it's pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm not going to put the dark wax everywhere. I just want it kind of here around the edges. I'm basically covering the red, just so that makes more sense. See, I did not know you could use dark and decrepit over wax. Yes, Kim. Yes, she can.
She says, what about black glaze? Can I use that? IKEA.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Just make sure it doesn't get too heavy or you'll turn your yellow into almost a brown. If you put too much black over your yellow, it's going to turn too brown. Okay? So I just want you to be careful where you apply the black glaze. So I'm really cautious to put very little wax on my brush. So I'm going to show you how much I'm using. I literally just stuck that corner in there, okay?
Nicole said, I showed that to a customer the other day and thought she was going to pass out with excitement.
Oh, the QR code? Is that what you mean, sis? Okay, so I'm going to go over this lightly. That's not even lightly, is it? What I meant to say was not very much. That was definitely not a light hand. There just was very little on my brush. And I'm going to take this.
Julie says she thinks the wax is beautiful, so fluid.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to take this rag and I'm just going to lightly go over the brown. I'm pressing pretty hard where I applied the brown. Debbie, go ahead.
Oh, she just said her laptop died, so sorry if you answered the question about the black glaze. Because of her computer died.
Okay, I did answer the question about the black glaze. Be careful when you're putting it over the yellow. I don't want it to turn to a muddy color. But sure, you can use the black. But just don't do it too heavy over the yellow especially, okay? Okay, let me see if I can get you closer.
Joan asks, is the dark different than the black?
Yes. Dark is brown. I only use the black, like I've used it a few times. That's how I got my denim look. If you've seen the piece that looks like denim, I put the black over the navy, the Hey Sailor, and the Apothecary, and that's how I got my denim look. Okay. Someone has opened the curtains, the blinds, and they're not supposed to open the blinds in there so she can see. So I'm basically just putting the dark over this red, and it's wet, so it's darker than it's going to be. Like how you see these streaks, it's not going to look that way once it's dry because it's just really wet. But I'm going to go over it like this. I'm just adding a little bit of shading, and then the whole rest of the piece will be with the brown. I love these brushes, by the way. If you don't have a good wax brush, order the Paint Pixie. They're so good. Okay, I need to come back this way towards me instead of away from me. This takes a little bit of muscle when you're using wax. Ooh. When you're using a wax or top coat and you're distressing, naturally think about where a piece of furniture will wear on its own. Think about where your hands are going to go. The oils of your hands are going to make this area darker, more worn around where the handles go. Think about on the legs. People are going to kick it with their shoes, so it's going to be worn more on the bottom.
Ellen says it looks great and she can't wait to start hers. Thank you.
You are so welcome, Ellen. You guys see me okay? Nope, I don't think you can. You weren't even able to see me. I'm not taking away the highlighted area in the center. I'm not going to put the brown wax over that. I'm just doing the edges and the sides.
Joan wants to ask you, if I don't have a brown wax, can I add a little brown paint to clear wax?
Yes, absolutely. Very little. Just, you don't need much wax. I mean, you don't need much paint, but yes, I do that all the time. I like to have it colored turquoise wax when I'm going, I like to have turquoise wax in the creases of something. a second and I'll sit on the floor. Again, guys, if you're just popping on in and out, this is the brown wax, and this is the DIY wax. Some of us are using dark and decrepit. Some of us are using a black. Some of us are using just clear. Use what you're comfortable with. I just wanted to add a little bit more layering and shading and really age this piece.
Tricia says it's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing your secrets.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Miriam wants to know if she will still be able to ask questions once the class is over.
Absolutely. Keep asking them. I may not be here because I have to go deliver a piece of furniture and then I have to go to dinner with my family. But the group is available. Just keep posting. I'm not monitoring your posts. Like, you don't have to get my approval. So y'all talk amongst yourselves. Feel free to post. And then when I get this piece completely finished, I will, of course, post the final image on here. Debbie, I want you to see. Debbie Setmiller, I'm talking to you, girl. Keep up. I want you to see that I have watermarks right here. But I'm liking them. I'm not running, like, I'm not trying to cover them. I want them to stay on there. Okay, then let's bring it down to the next level, Janae. Lower. Yeah, it's good. That height is good. There. Yeah. Let's try a little bit though. Here we go. Perfect. Hi, Sharon. Hey, hey. Thank you, Jerry. Is yours going okay? Or did you take a break? Did you have to walk away? Thanks again for letting us pop in on you, Jerry.
Jerry said you had to walk away.
Yeah.
Evelyn says, thank you for this great class.
Oh, Evelyn, thank you. I appreciate you guys. You guys, if you need to run, go, feel free to run off. I don't even know what time it is.
Jerry says she's letting her paint dry.
Okay. What time is it now?
It's at 4:15.
4:15? Okay, guys. I'm trying to hurry. We'll go to 4:30 or so, and I'm basically just doing this dark to shade, and then I'm going to put clear over the entire piece. But I still need to do the sides of mine, but that won't be done today.
Deb says, awesome class, thank you.
You're very welcome.
And Beth Ann says, you're a great teacher, thank you.
You guys are very welcome.
Says, I just love this. This is my Mother's Day gift. So happy, Marion.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad that you're having fun. It's nice being able to take an art class right from home, right? Don't even have to leave the house, stay in your jams.
Tricia Porter says, any dark wax for the top? Question mark.
Yes, I will use a little bit for the top. I will probably use it around the edges, kind of the corners. And that's probably going to be it because I'm afraid if I apply it too much across the top, it'll look streaky. So I will do it around the edges a little bit, but that's it.
Well, Jody asked, could you do big top over instead of clear wax?
You know, Jody, I don't usually mix my wax with big top. Debbie encourages not to put anything over the wax except for wax because she said the wax really needs to breathe to be able to harden and do its job at sealing. So I would prefer that you not put big top over the wax just based on that's what Debbie has taught us. If you want to try it out, you go for it. I've never done it. But I should probably be telling you that Debbie said don't put anything over the wax.
Kim says that she loves every second of this tutorial, and Liesl appreciates you.
Yay! Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for joining me. I know it's Saturday, but we kind of have to do it on Saturday. You know what I mean? We can't really do it on the weekend or on the weekdays.
Nicole says she can't wait to watch the whole class. She learned so much in the last half. She said, you realize I'm in my hotel room watching this.
Oh. Oh, you're in Galveston, aren't you? Who said that? Nicole who?
Nicole Nichols.
Yeah, you're in Galveston. Did you see my question yesterday about where in Galveston you're staying? Like, I thought you said you go to Crystal Beach, but maybe I made that up.
Let's see. Debbie says, thanks, Dion, for showing that. Mine has them in several places, pretty much every section. I will send a picture.
Okay.
And Julie says it's awesome. She's in Australia and it's morning, so she's still in bed on her iPad.
Woohoo! Sunday morning? I'm assuming it's Sunday morning.
And Miriam's asking, what is Big Top?
Big Top is a clear top coat. It's from DIY, and that's the name of it, Big Top. It's a clear top coat that I love to use on my pieces when I'm not, when I'm wanting to get a shine, shimmer, not a shimmer, just a glossy finish. I use Big Top.
Kim says, wait, what about the dark and decrepit over wax?
To me, yes, you can do that. To me, I don't mean to sound like I'm contradicting myself. The Big Top, to me, is stronger and it's more solid. To me, the dark and decrepit is more like a stain. So I feel like you can go ahead and mix that with the clear. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm contradicting myself, you guys. I've only know from how I've done it and what I've done in the past. So that's kind of just what I'm telling you, is that I only use the wax or the Big Top. That's how I usually do it. If I'm going to use the dark and decrepit, I usually will put dark and decrepit on and either put Big Top over it or I put the wax over it.
Jody says, thank you. Debbie is the queen, so she'll follow her lead. And Julie says, yes, it's Sunday in Australia.
Gotcha.
Miriam says, is Big Top like General Finishes high performance?
Yes. Yes, that's right.
Nicole Nichols says, we usually go to Crystal Beach, but this time we're at the Hilton Resort on the Main Street Beach View. But too many people for me love Crystal Beach.
Yeah, we always go to the Crystal Beach. That's where, not just us, but Janae as well and her family, that's where we always like to go. And we try to go every year, but sometimes as the kids have gotten older, it doesn't work out. But we did go last year.
Kathy says, thank you, Dion. I love being able to paint at the same time.
You're so welcome. You are so welcome.
And Miriam says, brilliant. Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm done with the dark on here. It's darker than it's going to be. You can see there's a lot of shadowing going on right now. It's going to dry a little bit in the areas where the wax is still wet, but I'm going to grab my clear and then I'm going to be done with the front of it at least.
You want to sit back up, or are you going to stay there?
I think I'll just stay there. I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting a little bit tired. Okay, I'll just start back right where we were. Okay.
Julie says, do you polish the wax, and does it need to dry first?
Yes. I will go back tomorrow and I will grab a cotton rag, like an old t-shirt, and then for this piece, I will definitely rub over the entire piece to polish the wax.
And that's what Lisa was also asking, do you buff your wax?
Yeah.
So.
It's going to get a lot darker when you put the wax on, and then it dries and it goes back to the color that it was. don't panic. The wax definitely changes the color while it's wet.
Kim is wanting to know if you can show the amount of clear wax you're using on your brush.
Of course. I'm just tapping the top of it, and that's all. I'm literally just tapping the top of it. Okay? I feel like if I get any more than that, I can't control it, and it gets too dark. So during application, it's going to get a little streaky, but I do not like applying too much, and so I'd rather have not enough than too much. So if I feel like I didn't get enough, I'll add more, but I don't want to try to take it off. But like I said, see, this is all wet, and it got really shadowy. It's going to dry a lot lighter than that.
Kim said she's usually a little heavy-handed with the wax.
And I probably don't use enough. I'm probably too light-handed with it. So tomorrow I'll take a picture of this front and show you guys what it looks like when it's dry. You'll see okay? It's getting a little bit darker.
Let me just scoot it up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll just angle it a little bit up, please, Denise.
Oops. Raise it a little bit.
How's that?
Is that high enough?
Yeah. Okay.
That's amazing.
This side, I'm walking away from. We're going to move over here, clear, and then we're done.
How are you?
What the wax does, it's good, come closer. What the wax does is it takes a color and it actually gives it more of a, it gives it, more color. Because if I don't want to put it as heavy, in the center I can leave it a really thin coat or maybe not even put anything and it stays light. So the same color can just have 2 or 3 different shades by the thickness that you add as far as the wax. The lighting is just, sorry guys. Can you guys see okay? What are your thoughts?
Miriam did ask if you only use 1 coat of wax.
Yes, only 1. Honestly, I've never used any more than 2, other than more, like the fact that I did dark in some of these areas. That will have 2 coats because I'm putting the clear over the dark, but otherwise, just 1.
Nicole says, I think it gives it more definition between layers. Love the wax. And Mandy says, wow, it's looking beautiful.
Thank you so much, you guys. Mandy, I wondered where you been, girl. Back up a little bit.
Gail says, went ahead and finished my sides, waiting to dry, walking away, and we'll finish tomorrow.
Okay. Good idea, girl. I hope you guys enjoyed this class. I'll try to have another one maybe at the end of April, somewhere in April. I'll try to do another one. It's baseball season, so it's really hard to get things scheduled during baseball season. Thank you, Kim. How's your piece going? Are you painting too?
Cheryl says, I had to leave and came back to this masterpiece, Bravo, once again.
Oh, thank you, honey.
And Jerry says, I loved it. And Kimberly says, thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. So guys, please continue to ask questions, share. I love, after the last class, we just kept going and going with comments and posts, and it was so fun. Like for 2 weeks, we kept seeing comments and posts. I would love for you to continue to rely on each other and encourage one another. And remember that it's not something that's really easy. This is a different approach. So if you're not happy with it right off the bat, goodness gracious, if you get it right the very first time, I'm 8 years into this, so I'm going to be really jealous of you if you get it right the first time.
Debbie wanted to know, are you still painting? And then Jerry said, I want to come to your live class on the 24th.
Oh, wonderful.
Kim said she had internet problems, but she's playing catch up and the ears is beautiful.
Okay, thank you, Kim. I would love to have you back, Jerry, and then Debbie asked me if I was still painting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mean this piece? Because right now I'm just waxing. I'm done painting this piece except for the sides. I haven't done anything to the sides for this class. We just haven't had enough time.
Miriam is wanting to know. She says, I can't see where I can watch the last class.
Oh, so at the very front of this page, when you just go into the page, on the left side, it's going to say videos. And every video that's been made in this group, in this class, since I started the group in January, you can watch those videos. I mean, there's only like 3 or 4 from the first class. But go to videos, scroll through. There may be a total of 5 or 6 at the most of videos. It's one of those, okay? If you still don't have, if you're still having trouble, message me, okay?
Debbie says, super class, I can tell the difference in taking a second class. And Kim wants to know, do you ever use circular movement while waxing?
Yes, I do sometimes. I don't have any explanation as to why, but sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. When I'm using multiple layers of color, it's really kind of like for me to go like this, it doesn't feel right. And I think it's because I work from side to side. And so I feel like my wax needs to go this direction. If I'm on the top of a piece and it's a solid color, sometimes I go round, but I'm not even gonna lie, most of the time I go from side to side. I don't know, it's just the way my brain works.
Marla says, no matter how many times I've seen you do this, you still amaze me.
And I am so grateful for you. Thank you, Miss Marlis. I'm tired. I'm tired, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I am going to pull the camera back and let you take one last look. Of course, the wax is still wet. Okay. Wax is wet. Yeah, let's raise that front one up. There we go, that's good. Let me show you what the top looks like while it is dry before I put the wax on. So again, this was the inspiration piece. You see? So we got pretty close. We could, one thing you do if you really like the drips, one thing we could do is add more yellow. If you want more actual yellow drips, you could do that. If you wanted more blue, you could go, no, Cheryl, I haven't done the sides, I just haven't had time. I did do the top, except for the wax, and I'll show you the top here in just a second. Hang on. Okay, so here's the top. There's still a few wet spots. Okay. The sides still look like this. They're still yellow. Still have the base coat. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So this is my favorite little area, but if you wanted to, you could always grab your old 57 and put a little bit on a putty knife. Put it on here. Just put it on there and then squirt it with water and it would make a little bit of the blue drips, like if you wanted to encourage more color going on. But this is the top.
Miriam is asking, did you do anything to the hardware?
No, I haven't. It's original. It's just original brass, round pulls, you know, the traditional Duncan Fife. I'm sorry, Janae, help me. Okay, we're good? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I didn't do anything to the hardware. It's out there, and it's brass, and it's like those traditional oval that you see on all the Duncan Fife. But I think we're good, you guys. So thank you all for joining me. I know I went over past 4 o'clock. I do need some hot tea, Tanya, with my honey. You're exactly right. The Le Crotch only goes for so long, right? If you guys please continue to share, please continue to help each other and encourage each other. And I can't thank you enough for wanting to spend your Saturday afternoon with me. For some of you, it was Saturday evening, and for more of you, it was Sunday morning. So I appreciate you all. I thank you, and if you have any questions, you know where to find me. All right? Y'all have a wonderful evening. See ya.